What is going on, everybody? It is episode 434 of Pop Culture Crisis. My name is Brett. I'm here with my co-host. Would you introduce yourself, please?
Hi, Crisis Actors. It's Mary. Today is another Girls' Day on Pop Culture Crisis. We have Sara and Cara with us in the studio today. How are you guys doing?
Doing well. How are you?
Doing good?
Yeah.
Doing good?
How are you?
We didn't do the traditional intros.
Yeah.
Normally we say, how's it going, Sara?
Yeah.
How you doing?
You're so routine oriented.
I really am. I don't
works.
like.
Be a little bit spontaneous once in a while, Brett.
Let's not say we did. Sara, how you doing?
Are you trying to make small talk with me again?
Yay!
I'm doing well. Thank you for asking.
Sara got very mad at me before the show because I had the temerity to ask her how she was doing. I don't know why a woman would be so offended by that, but she's a woman, so it could be that. I'm not sure. And Cara, how you doing today?
I'm doing well. Hello, I'm Cara with customer service for timcast.com. That's me. Hi.
And Sara over there does coffee.
I do coffee stuff.
And all things coffee.
Yes,
Woman
all things
sells
coffee
coffee.
related.
Sorry, lady sells coffee.
Lady sells coffee on Twitter now.
That's
I just
awesome.
succumbed
I love it.
to the cult.
Are you enjoying
Timcast
it?
Castle too.
I am enjoying it a lot. I tweeted you. You liked the tweet. It was
did.
riveting. I get it now.
It's amazing stuff, ladies and
The
gentlemen.
dopamine just rushed into your brain.
We got a bunch of stuff to talk about today. We are going to talk about Scooter Braun. If you don't know who that is, he is a manager to a lot of the biggest celebrities in Hollywood, and he's getting sort of dragged by the media because he is currently shifting his position within his company, and the media is using that as an excuse to try and drag him, call him a bad person, on top of start rumors.
It's not really the media. It's just Swifties.
Yes,
because
that too.
Swifties hate Scooter Braun. And maybe I'm just insulated. I thought everyone was aware of who Scooter Braun was, but had you guys heard of him?
Not until last
I've heard
week.
of him. Yeah.
You've heard of him?
He's super famous.
He's
Yeah.
the most famous person in the music industry who's not a pop star, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
At least that's what I thought.
I mean, of that generation, I suppose. Yeah, of the new generation.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he's very big because he represents acts like Justin Bieber, Ariana Grande, Demi Lovato, and a bunch of other celebrities. But he's shifting his position within his company because he's sold music rights. He's made tons of money. And
he's just
Taylor
going to
Swift
go on
fans
to
are-
make more money, and they're reframing it like,
Yeah.
he's getting blacklisted in the industry.
Yes, in the chat, Victor Von Derp says, "Who the hell is Scooter Braun?" He's exactly. You've got power in
He's
the
the
industry.
new Julia
Yeah,
Fox.
You've got power in the industry when people have no clue who you are, but you make all the money. He's
So
a
true.
He's
a
the
big
man
name.
behind the curtain.
He is. So we're going to talk about him. We're going to talk about this clip that is resurfaced from the movie The Breakup, starring Jennifer Aniston and Vince Vaughn, which has sparked a debate on gender roles and how we divide our tasks in the household between married men and women. Pearl got in on the discussion. She's the one who posted about it. We're going to talk about that because, as we know, movies affect the culture. They affect the dynamics we have with other people. So it's important. We're going to discuss it. We're going to talk about a new trend that is, at least the trend's existed for a while, but it's finally got a name, and that's ugly beauty, in which they're talking about why women in Hollywood are starting to embrace what is called ugly beauty. They're choosing to not be attractive. So we'll talk about that. We're also going to talk about the most recent TikTok trend, which is to just poison yourself, apparently. People are drinking borax because they think it's good for you, because people are inherently very stupid. So we're going to talk about that. We got a bunch of other stuff. But before we get started, would you hit the like button on this video? And would you subscribe to this channel if you have not done so already? Thank you very much for that. Remember, all super chats, $20 and over. Have a question, comments, concerns, anything you want to say, we will read those chats right then and there. We will interrupt the discussion and we will get right back on topic as soon as we're done with that. So if you ladies are ready, we will go ahead and get right into it. Watch this. I'm going to go very, very...
Okay.
Mary, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Sara, are you ready?
Yes.
Cara, are you ready?
I'm ready.
No, the real reason I hate doing that is because it's very hard to switch cameras and talk if there's no set order to how I'm doing it. So it's actually more just my brain trying to process doing more than one thing at a time. I heard women are good at multitasking. I am not. Yeah. So let's go ahead and get started, guys. So first things first, Rebel Moon. The trailer for Rebel Moon from Zach Wilson has dropped on YouTube, Twitter, all these places.
Did you say Zach Wilson?
Zack Snyder.
You said
Zach-
Wilson.
did I
I'm like,
say-
who's Zach Wilson?
Did I say Zach Wilson?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know who that is.
I made him up.
I have no clue who the hell that is. Zack Snyder.
Yes, it's Zack Snyder.
Chad,
I
did I-
swear you said Zach Wilson.
Chad, did I say Zach Wilson? I want the playback. I want the playback. Did I say Zach Wilson?
He did.
I did not.
You definitely did.
I'm calling BS. Well,
We're gonna do the
the
reaction.
trailer for Rebel Moon is out. It's from Zack Snyder, which he took over after the success of Army of Darkness in 2021. It really is, in a lot of ways, his own take on Star Wars. So if you ladies are ready, we will just watch it. Let's just watch it. Oh, actually, what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to do it in theater mode. We'll do it like this. Let's watch the trailer. I think the biggest bummer here is that you're going to end up having to see it on Netflix and not at a theater.
Yeah.
That's a big downside for it, is that you're not going to be able to see it on a full-size screen. It really is a Star Wars and Dune. It's Star Wars and Dune,
I thought that the
which is fine.
lightsabers,
Yeah.
the lightsabers aren't like fitting for this if you're trying to differentiate yourself from Star Wars.
Seeing Charlie Hunnam in it is really weird, considering I've been watching Sons of Anarchy again recently, and so it's all I'm thinking about is his character from Sons of Anarchy. I liked it. I think that strong visuals say a lot. The trailer was too long. It was 3 minutes and 30 seconds.
Yeah.
It probably could have been 2
In
minutes.
Zack Snyder fashion.
And I didn't really get exactly what it was about. I get it's like some holy war, but I was like, what is
I mean,
that?
that's fine. That's better than showing the whole movie, but they show a lot of visual shots that probably could have been saved for the final product. But it's not going to matter because you're going to be watching it on Netflix and not at a theater, which I would like to see it at a theater. I enjoyed it. It's very, very much a mashup of all the sci-fi tropes.
If it does well, has this ever happened? Do you think a Netflix movie could be put out in theaters?
They
on like a
release
limited
in theaters.
release?
They do a limited release at theaters.
Yeah.
All of the Rian Johnson Glass Onion movies got limited theater. Both of them got.
Are they going to
limited
do
theaters.
that for Rebel Moon?
I doubt it. If it's Christmas, probably not. But they could be. If they do, we'll wait and see. But
Maybe the second part.
And that's the other thing. It's a part 1 of 2, which a lot of people don't like. They're going to want to wait for both of them to come out. And I think a lot of people would probably rather wait and see Dune. If I'm being completely honest, people would rather watch Dune. But I think Dune will end up getting pushed back because of the strike.
Is this based on any kind of books, or is this just like a standalone original?
He wrote a story that he sold to Disney back a couple years ago that they never put out, and that he frantically rewrote it because Netflix gave him the green light to make a bigger project because his movie Army of Darkness did really, really well on streaming. So as far as I know, somebody said it was related to a video game. There was a video game called Rebel Moon Run from the late 90s or early 2000s. I don't think it's connected to that, so I could be mistaken there, but I think this is an original script from him. But I have a feeling it's going to be a little bit plotting. It'll probably be too long. But in general, I enjoy somebody who takes most of the work seriously. You'll notice a distinct lack of jokes in there, which I appreciate, not having to listen to people tell a joke every 5 seconds in a
this
story.
is like people who want Star Wars content but not goofy.
Yes. I mean, is that so much
Or
to ask
sappy.
for? Is that so much to ask for that you don't make everything a joke and humorous all
Yeah.
the time? I think it could be good. Are you guys fantasy or sci-fi people? I don't know if you guys are fantasy or sci-fi people.
I'm into it.
Yeah, I can get down on that.
Yeah. So, and also people ask pretty frequently. They say they want new stuff. They want new properties. I see some people in the chat. Some people are saying pretentious trash. Other people are saying that look, it looks good, but maybe it's.
Someone said too many women in the movie.
There's going to be people who say stuff like that. Given the way people are arguing about Ahsoka right now, which I'm not going to watch, I'd rather watch this. I guess I'd rather they make new stuff.
What are people saying about Ahsoka?
They're saying that Rick. Hold on. First of all, Rick C saying it's woke, Brett. It's
it?
Hollywood. It's Hollywood. It's
Yeah,
all.
shocking.
It's
Ahsoka
all,
or Rebel Moon?
I don't know if he's talking about Ahsoka or Rebel Moon. I saw somebody else tag me in an article today about Zack Snyder, I guess, talking about how he's a Democrat and he votes that way because he believes in individual rights and a woman's right to choose. I'm like, bro, they all say that. I don't care.
Why does Hollywood hate Zack Snyder so much?
I have no idea.
Why is he name dropped so much in TV and movies in a negative way?
That came
or at
up.
least his fan base.
That question came up because they asked him. They said, "What do you think about the right-wing political sphere's attraction to your work. He's like, bro, I don't know what you want me to say. Like, I'm not right wing. So a lot of people aren't a fan of him for
I guess
that,
they wanted
so.
a condemnation.
Yeah.
And
well,
didn't get it.
So, guys, I recommend checking this movie out, especially since in a lot of ways we're looking for new stuff. And if it's good, it's good. If it's bad, it's bad. That's fine. But at least it's different and it's new. Sure, it's a mashup of other stories, but most of Hollywood is some type of mashup or take. Like almost every movie, when you get down to brass tacks, the elevator pitch is it's this meets this. It's this movie meets this movie, and that's how you pitch a project to people.
At least it's not Star Wars part 12
Yeah.
or whatever. they're
So,
on.
like in a lot of ways, like this could have been pitched. He's like, look, it's Star Wars meets Dune.
I think the lightsabers are way too Star Wars.
And the weird creatures that were in it kind of reminded
that's
me
just-
of
Even
that's
that,
just sci-fi.
mythical creatures, that's fine. That's fantasy, sci-fi. But lightsabers are Star Wars.
Yeah.
I feel like you
It's a
shouldn't
Star
use
Wars
that.
thing.
Yeah. So, and I also noticed there was a line. There was a line in there where he says, "What was he says? He says something about like becoming an idea." I'm gonna find that line again. Also Anthony Hopkins being in the trailer was really, really good. Doing the audio, the voiceover for. Remember, like, we just talked the other day. Why don't they have trailer voices
Yeah.
anymore? This has Batman talks about becoming more than a man, becoming a legend, because you can't destroy an idea. And we all know that Zack Snyder really just wanted to make a Batman movie, and they wouldn't let him. they made him make a Superman movie instead. So, and also the visuals look really, really good. That's why it's a bummer that you're going to have to watch it on your television at home and not on a movie theater screen. So, also, guys, another trailer. And this was the pitch. So he says Zack Snyder wrote a script for a Star Wars spin-off taking place away from the established Skywalker storyline. Once Lucasfilm was sold to Disney, the project was shelved. Since then, Snyder has been reworking the script to be an original sci-fi story unrelated to Star Wars entirely. So they sold them years ago. So this must have been a lot of years in the making to get this script working. Another trailer I would like you guys to check out. We're not going to watch it here, but it's called Reptile, starring Benicio del Toro and Justin Timberlake. If you were a fan of True Detective, especially True Detective Season 1, the trailer for this gives very, very strong True Detective Season 1 vibes. And that is also a Netflix production that is coming out. So I do recommend checking that one. It looks good. I'm a fan of the mysteries and trailers like this, which don't really, like you said, they don't give you a strong idea of what it's about. But I'd rather be surprised when it comes than have the whole thing told to me in the trailer.
For $15 a month, though?
Yes, for $15 a month, I guess.
That's a tough sell.
Well, I think the hope is that there is actually a plot, and that's it doesn't seem like it from the trailer, but I guess we'll find out.
Yeah. The most backhanded compliment.
All right, so let's move on, ladies and gentlemen. Mary, tell us all about the new Bratz dolls, because you called this one.
They're making Bratz dolls based on Kylie Jenner, a whole collection of them. The first round are going for $30 each in October. The next are going to be $100 each next year in January. I guess Bratz is trying to make a comeback after the Barbie movie. It's a big competition.
I did tweet right after the Barbie movie that we were going to get a Bratz movie.
Yeah, like the Bratz movie is inevitable. Yeah. I don't know what to think about that yet. Yeah. I don't think that Kylie Jenner should be the role model that little girls playing with these dolls should look up to. No. Don't know how I feel about that. Most of the people arguing about this are adults who have nostalgia for Bratz dolls, so maybe it's just going to sell to adults. And people arguing about how Bratz dolls are supposed to represent black women and WOCs and not white women. So they're mad that this is based on a white woman.
Would it be a DOC, a doll of color?
Well, I guess, yeah, technically.
Okay, cool.
But like Bratz dolls were never meant to represent only WOCs. It was supposed to be the more diverse of the two choices, I guess, compared to Barbies. But I don't know. I just don't like that it's based on Kylie Jenner.
You're just not a fan of... Who is the one... Oh, there's a $20 one there from Patriot American.
He said, I've watched the first 2 episodes of Ahsoka, and so far I've not seen anything woke about it, but I'll keep I'll be keeping my eyes peeled for the remainder of the series.
One of the saddest things about the world we live in now is you have to like look out
Be
for
on
that.
watch.
You have to
be
on watch
paranoid
for that.
about the wokeness.
And to me, it's just like, it's why I love watching old stuff, because you don't have to worry about that. If anything, like you can go back and watch old movies and television and get an idea of just how progressive a lot of these people were, but they were not so hampered by having their brains rotted by the internet. So the writing seemed more balanced back then.
Yeah.
Nowadays, your brain is rotted by the internet, so it ruins it for everyone. But it sucks that you have to watch these properties you love. That's why. Brett. Oh yeah. Bill the Butcher says. Oh, speaking of that, he says Brett wrong again. Geeks and Gamers, 90 grand for Zach's charity, and he called them right wing. Not. Yeah, I remember that. I remember that stream. Yeah, he called them. He felt like he went on like a charity live stream with them, and basically felt like he probably got like some type of push from his promotional team. Like, look, you can't be associated with these people, and like immediately like called them out like early in the stream. Like, what am I wrong about?
He just said like, you guys are right wing Nazis. Yeah. Click.
Yeah. What am I wrong? What am I wrong about? I said he's left wing. I don't understand what I'm wrong about. Did I say something?
Well, no.
No, okay.
I don't know
what I'm wrong about. But yeah, so let's...
People are just searching for wokeness anywhere. They secretly love wokeness, and they want it to be everywhere in their media.
Do you, like, if you could have a doll based on one character, who would it be? If not Kylie Jenner.
A character? Or a real person?
A real person.
I don't know. Who's, like, what real celebrity is worth making into a doll now?
Is there any one person that you really idolize? I don't feel like
I don't feel like there is one.
Yeah.
But I liked that they had characters, like fake characters, like the Chloe doll, for instance, and you didn't need to be attached to the real world.
Yeah.
Like Barbie's not a real
yeah.
person.
Yeah. If they had to make one, I would want it to be a Sailor Moon doll. I know she's not real, but
yeah, but that would be more fitting for a Barbie.
Yeah.
Not a Bratz doll.
Yeah, we could have one based on a Cast Castle doll set.
Castle.
That would be fun.
But it's just the guys, none of the women.
It's
just the guys. It's just Wesley. And
we're in the Mojo Dojo Castle House.
Yes, and it's Wesley and who else?
You're just feeling a little chauvinistic because the women are outnumbering you in the room right now.
Well, yeah, we're not going to make dolls on. We're not going to make dolls about you guys. So,
yours would have to have rollerblades on them. We could do Aaron.
I think the Funko
Bane.
Pops would sell.
Yeah. Charles. I think a Charles doll with a mustache.
Oh my
gosh.
gosh.
Like
Absolutely.
Charles, by the way, wanted me to pass along the message that he fully embraces the role of our chief impact officer in our diversity department at this company.
He's accepted
and
the
whatever
position.
that means. He's not really sure what it means, but whatever that means, he's fully embracing the role.
I tried to explain it to him after the show yesterday, and then I lost myself like 5 minutes from like something to do with DEI.
What was I saying again? Okay, next. I want you guys to know that Hinge spokespeople have confirmed the dating app decides who you date and shadow bans certain users. You can get demoted in the algorithm on Hinge.
So there's guys out there somewhere who are just like, nobody loves me, and it's really just because Hinge is...
I also...
Wait,
Which one is Hinge?
Which one is Hinge? I've never used a dating...
Isn't Hinge supposed to be like the more polite Tinder?
Okay.
Is that its reputation?
classier.
Hello, ma'am. I would like to take you home tonight, rather than let's.
Well, I mean, the spokesperson said you're gonna get demoted or shadow banned if you're misbehaving on the app, not if they just think that you're not attractive.
So just like,
but
no dick pics, and you should be all right.
this one person said Hinge demoted me. All of a sudden, the app stopped showing me attractive people. I have to work through 100 profiles to find someone halfway decent.
I like the idea that there's just like moderators who pick people they don't like, and they just only show them ugly people. Like they show
Based
them,
on political leaning.
They show them, they find all the right wing people looking for love and show them nothing but land whales.
There are right-wing dating apps now.
I remember that. Well, I mean, but like that was always going to happen. There was like Catholic dating apps back in the day.
I think
right?
a religious-based dating app makes more sense than a political dating app.
Oh, I think they both make perfect sense these days. People are so divided; they're not willing to compromise and they're not willing to disagree with people. So it's like, why would I have to I've heard horror stories from people who talk, like, who is it? Like, somebody who works here was telling me about, like, went on a date to a coffee shop and, like, mentioned that, like, his political leanings or, like, who he worked for.
I thought Dane said that.
Was that Dane? I don't know. And the person
then
just
she
got
just
up
walked
and left.
out. And then he said there was a group of like teenage girls that were snickering about it in the corner.
Like, I don't remember who it was, but yeah, but that happened, right? Because people are awful.
It's almost unbelievable to hear.
And nobody can
that.
stomach the idea that somebody sees the world differently than you. But now,
I mean, to be fair, I would not date a liberal guy. Like, that doesn't, I don't think that makes me intolerant.
But would
It's
you
just,
get up in the middle of coffee and just
Yeah,
leave? You
maybe.
would? You would?
Maybe.
He's like, oh man, I'm a
so
Bernie
weird.
Sanders guy. And you're just
I mean,
like, I'm out of
it's
here.
supposed to be
No
a 20-minute
explanation.
thing anyway, right? Like, I'm just going to cut my losses. Right? I don't think I'd end up in that situation though.
So there's just power hungry people out there who are just looking to get jobs at these companies so they can start. They're not going to ban you. They're just going to make sure you see nothing but undesirable people, and the only people that click yes on your profile are undesirable people. So it just lowers your self-esteem.
I also didn't know this, but apparently Tinder, Hinge, Match, OkCupid, and like all of the major dating apps are owned by the same parent company, which is really sinister.
Oh my gosh.
Right?
Almost
Like
typical.
our food.
Like a mega
like
corporation is running dating in the country. And also, I didn't know this, 40% of US couples met on dating apps.
It's crazy to think that the
That's
algorithms
wild.
are kind
That's
of
crazy.
deciding who you date to an extent or who you
Yeah.
become friends with on the internet. Like, not just on dating apps. I would assume, the Twitter algorithm kind of decides who's in your feed and whose responses you see and stuff like that, and Instagram as well. So it's like, and just hearing that it's run by one big corporation it's a little bit of a scary thought to think of how much the algorithms are pushing who we date and interact with.
At least there's no parent company that owns like Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, like all the major social media.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, but they're all functionally the same anyways, other than Twitter. Like the rest of them, they might as well all be the same thing.
Yeah.
Bumble is the only unique dating app because the females are supposed to message first on that one.
Which would never work for me. Sorry. Like I just don't believe in that personally.
It was kind of built on a false premise,
Yeah.
but it is really popular.
Well, could somebody look up like what's the success rate? Like, are there studies that have been done about the success rate of Bumble as opposed?
I'm sure. I'm
maybe
sure
I'm
there
talking
have.
smack, and maybe that's like everyone's getting married on Bumble.
Like is
because the woman who created it probably saw like all the women are receiving messages and they're not putting their messages back out there. Like it's a one-sided thing on most of the dating apps, so she wanted to innovate.
Yeah.
Tinder is also the most successful matchmaker with 29.6% of respondents engaged or married to a partner from the app. That's shocking to me.
Wow.
Bumble and Hinge trail with 12.9% and 5% respectively. 67% of Americans say they met their current partner through an app. This is from February of 2023.
Wow.
It's kind of scary, especially when like in the 2000s that was considered weird
Yeah.
to do like online dating.
Now you got to worry about like you repost that Alex Jones video and you're not getting anywhere because somebody on Hinge or Bumble or Tinder or one of these profiles is going to be like, you're only seeing nothing but
my gosh.
fat chicks and sociopaths.
Remember
for the next
when
6
like
months.
journalists
people
started
out.
reporting on it when George Zimmerman joined like OkCupid or something?
Oh yeah, I
It was
vaguely
so
remember that.
weird. Like, why are we still digging into this guy's personal
Let it
life?
go.
It's well, I mean, why? Because they
I know why, but
they
it's
drag
just,
him.
it's ghoulish.
We should send somebody undercover to Hinge to get a job and ask how to shadow ban people.
Undercover boss.
Undercover boss and see if we can get we can crack the algorithm. It says shadow banning is a phenomenon where a tech platform hides your account from others or limits its reach. It seems weirder than that. Like on Facebook or social media, it just limits your ability to speak to everyone, right? So does this mean that like they choose who gets to see your profile, or does it limit like who you see? Like, would it limit who? Because if you can reach out, like, it's got to limit who you see as well.
Right. Yeah.
Like, there's like, why are there only ugly people on these platforms? And there's secretly this whole world of hot men and women that you could be seeing if you weren't just a dick on the internet.
Well, there was this one
pissed off the admins.
tweet that says, Hinge is so funny, gatekeeping the hottest people and then making the only way to contact them a completely humiliating act that tells them they're out of your league. I guess that means you have to pay to message somebody that hasn't swiped right on you.
Oh my gosh.
That's disturbing.
Yeah.
Or
That's
you
like,
have to pay to
wow.
like the equivalent of like super liking to do that.
Okay.
If they didn't
Social
swipe
engineering.
right on you.
It sounds a little desperate.
a
like
little
super
bit-
like-
Wait, is that somebody who's
Like
like, he's like,
basing?
look,
I
he's
get
like,
it,
look,
but-
he's like, I'm not the greatest looking person here, but I've got game. I've got
I
game.
see.
All I need is 500 characters, and I've got him/her
Yeah.
eating out of the palm of my hand.
and you've got the money to pay for the super like.
Yeah.
Honestly, like that's a huge flex if you're like a dude and like she swipes, like she says no, and he manages to like then reel her back in with a message.
Do we have a success rate on that?
Like we're gonna need a guy to teach a course on that. Like he's like, look, if she says no, don't be dismayed.
This
It's
is the
fine.
new pickup artist course.
Yes, it's
You can't
it's
go out
gonna
in
be
person
great.
anymore.
It's well, you know, in person you're not as limited, right? You can there's body language, there's the ability to like engage in a conversation, have a back and forth. But that back and forth starts right away. With it's a message, like your selling point better be damn good, and you got a limited amount of characters to be like, look, this is my pitch, and all he's looking for is that first message back, something
Yeah.
that
Yep.
engages the discussion.
My elevator pitch.
Yeah, exactly.
Of love.
Just like your version of pitching the movie Rebel Moon to her is like, look, I'm Gary V meets I'm trying to think of like, who else? He's like, I'm Andrew Tate meets Alex Jones, and she's just like, let's go.
I need the ring now.
Like she's like, why waste time with pleasantries? Let's just go. Let's just get married right now. That's your pitch.
Yeah.
It's great. All right.
Are any of these dating apps actually set up for success? Like their algorithms, do they actually help you find somebody on any of these other like the
it's not
dating apps?
profitable if it works, right?
That's true. That's true. And there
You
are
wanna
some
keep
that you
people
do
on
have to
there.
pay for. Like I think Match.com, don't you have to pay for that?
Some of them, I'm sure you have to pay.
Yeah.
That is a good point, though. It's like once you get off the app, it doesn't benefit the app anymore.
You're not a
So
product
How
to
much
them
incentive
anymore.
do they
Yeah.
have?
There's a great like infographic where it's like cigarette companies selling you cigarettes even though it kills you.
Yeah.
And it says like condom companies selling you something that stops their future customers. Like it's you're marketing yourself out of a business if it works too well. You know?
Well, maybe that's the hope, is that it just works so well that dating apps fade out and people start talking to each other organically in person again.
Yeah.
That's never
have
that.
going
I
to
know.
happen.
I know.
Like
Keep us sick.
It's over.
It's more
I-
fantasy
Sarah.
than the
I was mentioning-
whatever trailer we just watched.
I mentioned recently that I've been watching Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives, and in those early seasons, there's nobody on phones, just people eating, talking, enjoying the company of other people, you know, and that's just a rare thing these days. You go to a restaurant, and most of the people there, even if they're talking, their phone is right here, or they're doing this, and they're glancing at it ever so slightly.
Yeah.
It's one time where I've tried to, like, if it's a group dinner, I don't worry about it. But if it's like a one-on-one thing, or you're with just one other person out to eat, I try to limit how much time I spend on the phone.
Yeah.
Right?
It's a conscious effort now.
Yeah. Like you have to
Yeah,
in a lot
definitely.
of ways. We could all go back and get flip phones. Gen Z's been getting flip phones.
Nice.
I like
Yeah.
that.
That's what they say, at least.
Yeah.
I have one.
In
I
They're
just-
called
Nice.
dumb phones.
They just have it in
Yeah.
addition to their
Light
iPhone.
phones.
It's like,
That's actually really funny. Like they're so addicted that they love the clout of being known as somebody with a dumb phone, but they've got a secret iPhone in their pocket that they
I just bought a flip phone for the aesthetic and didn't end up using it. I was gonna activate it, but I
should-
still have that
well,
somewhere.
it's like a pager. Like you can so we should get pagers or Nextels with like the chirping feature. So they should get like that construction workers use, right? Like you chirp to someone.
What?
You ever seen
Never heard
that?
of that.
Bring back walkie-talkies.
It's basically like a walkie-talkie. Like you press the
Oh.
button,
Yeah.
you say it, and then
Oh.
yeah,
Yeah, walkie-talkie. I know those.
those are a thing.
Okay.
Those are a thing.
Yeah, I know those.
All right. Jamie Lee Curtis is joining in on the charade going on in Hollywood right now. She's telling you that, look, COVID cases are up. You should put your mask on, she says. You should
Yes.
put your mask on. She says, so many dumb people on here saying not to wear a mask. Willfully ignorant, somebody says. These are people's responses to her picture. It is a very, like, she's got a Michael Myers mask on.
She said, and we're back. No no, not Michael Myers, but masking will be. COVID is on the rise. So many friends now are really sick. Be mindful, wear a mask if required, and even if you feel unwell or are out in public spaces.
She's so bummed out. Ugh.
I'm going to go Ian mode right now.
Yeah, go for
Not
it.
doing it again.
You can't make
Thank you.
Your face needs to shake a little bit more.
I don't know if I'm capable of that.
Yeah. So but this is how it works, right? I still remember one of the biggest. I really do believe that the big selling point of COVID early on was when Tom Hanks got COVID, and everyone's like,
That's when shit got real.
Lost their shit.
and a celebrity can get it, and so can I.
He got a
beginning
COVID
of the
brand
end.
deal.
Yeah.
That's what he got.
She's trying to get in on that COVID brand deal money now.
Everybody was like, oh my God, if a celebrity can get it. I saw Castaway. I love that guy.
Wilson.
I'm the disease now. Like, that's like, everybody saw that and they were like, look, if a celebrity can get it, then I think anybody could get it. That's why they were keeping like weird websites had lists of celebrities who had COVID.
Ew.
Dude.
That's weird.
It's like keeping
So
score.
embarrassing.
That's
These are all the important people that have COVID.
Like, we should start.
All the people whose lives are worth living.
we all care about.
Somebody with access to our medical, to a prescription database should find all the celebrities who have been treated for gonorrhea and start a celebrity gonorrhea list.
Yep.
That's what I want. I want to
It'd
know.
be a lot.
I
a lot
care.
of them.
I have to know.
It would be.
But they're saying like this is going to be back by September or October, back to full lockdown mode.
Dude, August
the
is almost
F out.
over.
Yeah.
It's coming up.
Now
So dumb.
Somebody mentioned Zach Wilson. I still have. Apparently, he's
Wilson is
apparently he's a
back.
quarterback.
Wait, really?
That's why.
Russell Wilson
Yeah.
was.
So she's saying. By the way, she's saying wear your N95 masks and and put your masks on and.
Suck
Those
it.
always looked
Well-
like a duck bill to me.
Yep.
Yeah.
So hideous.
It's
Not
election.
a look.
Ugly fashion.
It's almost election time, so. Wait. What did Ian say? He said your unwashed mask or your dirty mask.
Disgusting, filthy mask or something filthy.
Not wearing
maybe?
dirty masks.
Yeah, dirty mask.
Literally, the research is out, and the kind of masks that she's wearing do not help prevent the spread.
No, not
And
at all.
But
actually
they
are
help
filthy.
other people perceive you as a good person.
It's a virtue
So-
signal. Yeah, it's just a blatant virtue.
It's not as bad as Alyssa Milano wearing a crocheted mask that had holes in it.
Oh yeah.
Remember that?
I loved
Yep.
when
On purpose, like
sheer
unironically.
Lana
No,
Del
she's
Rey
just
wore
dumb.
the like bejeweled mask
Yep.
that had like no
Oh, I
mesh
had one of those.
in it. Yeah.
It's very funny.
I loved
had
it.
to.
So go put your mask on. They want you to
Don't.
stay safe and healthy. That's what Hollywood wants.
Don't.
They care about you. They care very much about you.
Yeah.
They just don't want you to get sick. It has nothing to do with power and control.
Because if there's lockdowns, they lose their acting money.
That's
and their
all
roles.
sarcasm.
But that's
They're-
a side note. It's, you know,
they're already
it's not what
locked
it's about.
down because they're not allowed to act right now because the writers and the actors strike. Right? So
Yeah.
They can't handle anymore.
they're down and out. All right, guys. If you want a depressing topic, it is slightly depressing. This lady from Bachelor in Paradise, her name's Ashley. Is it Iaconetti or is that an L? I think it's
Iaconetti.
She had to overcome what she called gender disappointment when she had a son. I don't know why in God's name you would share this with the public. I'll let you know the story. I can share this story because it was about me, but
Okay.
my mom did say like we wanted one because I have an older brother and I'm 7 years younger than my brother and my mom did say to me, she goes, we wanted one boy, one girl. But when you came out, we were fine. I can share that story because that's my story
Yeah.
to tell. If I'm this kid, I don't know how I feel about my mom just being like, I was kind of disappointed when I came out. So
Is that why you're
People
named Brett?
just
It's
act like
unisex.
they only have one chance to have a kid, and like you can't have multiple
Yeah.
kids.
But what my mom said, she goes, we really wanted one boy, one girl. But when you came out, we were fine.
Yeah,
It was
it's
fine.
okay.
It was
was
fine,
fine.
right? So
We
we didn't have
accepted
an
it.
existential crisis.
yeah, she says, I had such gender disappointment with Dawson.
I'd be happy if we had a boy too, because then I'd want them to have that hopefully brother bond. But she wanted a sister bond with a daughter.
She didn't just not want him. She wanted two of female Dawson.
That was really
Apparently.
sad for me. It didn't last very long.
Is Dawson
Okay.
a unisex name?
I don't know.
I can
It's
imagine.
not a good name. I hate
Dawson's
like
Creek.
gender reveal party videos where they like pop the balloon or whatever it is. I mean, gender reveal parties in general are very narcissistic. Like you think that people care that much about what gender your baby is, but
It's an
like
excuse to party.
then they pop the balloon, and if it's pink, then they show the dad like literally slinking away in
Choking
horror,
back
and, like choking back
Yeah.
tears, punching the air,
Yeah.
and I'm just like,
Or it's the opposite.
that is not a healthy reaction to anything. Like,
Did you see the gender reveal where the guy, he was happy to have a boy. He was so stoked, but then he was so excited. He took the cake knife and started stabbing the cake because he was just like, yeah, excitement, I got a boy. It could be the complete opposite.
Yeah, okay.
Oh gosh.
okay, thankfully it was the cake.
Yeah, that,
Yeah.
that almost got really dark.
It was like
Yeah.
red flag. That was the title.
I thought first of all, I love gender reveal parties because they prove to you that most of society is still full of normies who aren't focused on they, them, they're like it
Well,
is.
yeah.
It is a bit of a litmus test.
Like your
look,
narcissism overrides your wokeness.
like right now, like if you want to wonder whether there's normal people out there still, there's just regular narcissistic people, not weird narcissistic
Sure.
people out there.
Yeah.
But I always thought gender
Reassuring.
reveals they already knew, and they were just doing it for like the benefit of the people in the crowd. I'm like,
It's
who
supposed
the hell
to
would
be
care?
No, yeah, but it's supposed to be a surprise.
Yeah.
I saw a great one the
couple.
other day. I told people here this one the other day where this guy, they were doing a thing where like the husband he's got a baseball bat and he's gonna hit the thing and it's gonna reveal the gender of the baby. Oh, yeah. And the mom just threw just a horrible pitch and hit him, and he just didn't swing at it because it was out of the strike zone, and it just explodes on him, and he just looks really dejected because he didn't get to hit the.
And it was pink, right?
It was
Yeah.
like,
girl.
he didn't look
Yep.
dejected because it was a girl. He looked dejected that he didn't get to hit it.
Exactly,
Like,
that's
he
what
really
I-
wanted to hit it, and he was very sad about that. And then like the mom is like he's like dude's best man should have been the one to throw it because the mom threw the ball and she very clearly didn't know how to throw a pitch. She didn't play softball most likely. So
I wonder about these kids that'll grow up and watch these videos and see the look of disappointment. And
I know. It's out there forever,
It's the,
man.
like,
well,
wrong
like,
gender.
it
Yeah.
seems like a big amount of the stuff we end up covering these days. It's less like concern about what they're doing. It's more concern about why they would share that with everyone. Like yesterday,
part
we
of it.
talked about this husband and wife who
Okay, they said that they were triggered by sex scenes and nudity, and they went to see Oppenheimer, and her husband like had to close his eyes when the sex scene was on. Whatever.
because he has a
Yeah.
porn addiction.
That's your thing. That's fine. Whatever. But why did you post about it? And why do you have an entire TikTok account dedicated to talking about your husband's issue?
Yeah, that was cringe. I saw that one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's definitely narcissism hidden behind, oh, we want to help others in the same situation.
Yes. Yes.
It's always and it's,
Yeah,
it's
that's what it
always that,
is.
and all the comments are always women. They're like, "You're doing so much you're doing so much. You are so stunning and so brave." Meanwhile, the husband's over here
This
like,
made
"I
me
don't know if
feel
I want my
visible."
porn addiction to be public." And
Yeah,
I personally, I'd prefer to deal with my porn addiction on my own. He would
Yeah.
say, I imagine,
I
right?
thought it was his idea to put it on the internet.
Just
If it
Yeah.
was, he's equally deranged.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or he's just so like cucked at this point that he's just like has
That's
no
the more
say
They used
in
to
it.
call it
That's-
whipped
yeah.
and
Well, my logic was like he's like, well, she stayed with me even though I'm a weird porn addict. So I guess I got to let her make her TikTok videos that degrade me, you know, because she puts up with me.
use him as an
Thanks,
example.
I hate
But
it.
so much. I mean, I brought this up yesterday or earlier today because I don't like the videos where it's like it's the women with the kids saying like teaching my daughter to do this so that your dusty ass son.
I think those are
Those are kind
hilarious.
of funny.
Those are designed
It's
to make your relationship with the opposite sex adversarial from a very young age, and you're using your kid as a prop.
Well, the
to do
recent
that.
one I saw was
that's weird.
teaching my son to write down his feelings when he's upset so that your daughters don't have to deal with, like, I don't know,
That's
Oh,
insane.
interesting.
a toxic male
Oh
or
my
something.
gosh.
Normally, it's teaching my
Taekwondo.
daughter
Put
to
him in
do this
karate.
so that your
Yeah.
son can't do this to her. She's saying, I'm teaching my son to do this because I'm worried my son is going to hurt someone else. That's insane. These women are narcissistic
I mean,
and
it's not,
insane.
it's
gonna
not
be so
bad
weird.
to teach your kids to write down their feelings, but why do you
Maybe
have
you
to?
should be on your kid's side. for the beginning. Maybe you shouldn't be on some random chick's daughter's side. If you have a son, maybe you go off the premise that it's not crazy to think that he's not going to be an absolutely detestable person when he grows up. And if he is, it's her fault anyways, because she raised him.
That's very true.
So, you know.
Yeah. Good TED Talk. Very good.
I digress.
Okay, Ian, chill.
Social media is rotting. Thank you. Social media is rotting the brains of men and women everywhere, and kids are paying the price. They are.
Dude, spitting truth.
All right. Would you ladies like to see cringe of the day or cute of the day first?
How about cute this time?
Okay, let's do cute.
Let's do cute of the day first then. Here we go. We got a bunch of them. I asked you guys to send them in, and many people. Yes, this is from Larissa. It says Taco Tuesday.
Yes, sir.
Adorable. Guys, if you do want to have your pets featured on Cute of the Day, hashtag PCC Pets. Tag me in there so that I make sure to get it. We will do a couple each day. There's some further ones down the line here. This one's also good.
More sombrero pics.
Oh my goodness.
Yep, that one's amazing.
This is cultural appropriation.
I have no idea. And then this one says Ricky objects to tacos and sombreros.
I love his chin.
I love his white nose.
Adorable. That's from Larissa on Twitter. So thank you for that. We got one more here. We'll do one more. This one is from Lindsay Tatum. We have seen the one on the right. The one on the left here is new. It says, here's Eddie, formerly from the Bad Girls Club pic I sent earlier this year on the right, and only toy she will play with. So it says she's getting her chance at Inside Living. We will be listening live today because Kofifi finally got me. I guess you should have listened to Jamie Lee Curtis and worn your mask. Sorry. Adorable.
Oh
my goodness.
Its eyes are so big.
It's adorable.
They're like yellow.
Yeah, I love that.
All right, let's do one more. This one is from Melly May on Twitter. This is my darling Clementine. Thought I'd send in my orange fluffy for Mary.
Yes.
Apparently, orange females are rare.
Oh,
They are. Like a lion's mane. Look at that.
Yeah.
It looked like
I
a
love
piece of
orange
coral before you clicked on it.
that's funny.
It's like so orange.
On the beach.
Yeah.
All right,
Very
very
good.
cute,
Very
very
good.
cute. All right, let's do cringe of the day. Mary sent me this one. I have not watched this one yet, so let's all watch this one together.
Can I take a picture with you? Oh yeah, of course. Here, let me do this TikTok really quick. Yeah, I'll get out of it.
Who is this?
Addison Rae.
Is it Addison Rae? Wow.
The dedication.
Influencers in the
That's
wild,
why she's the
man.
best. Number one.
Super dedicated to her craft.
I actually have a good cringe of the day I need to send in. That reminds me. I'll send
Okay.
it to you guys.
That's
I need a bad bitch. Addison Rae.
I haven't listened to the song. Every
good
time
song.
I listen to an influencer make songs, I get Brooke Hogan vibes now. Like same when I heard the one from what's her name from Lily Rose Depp. It gives Brooke Hogan vibes when she tried to make music.
Addison Rae's song does sound like the songs from The Idol.
There
Sounds
you
like
go.
a parody of a pop star.
Yeah.
But I support her and her dedication to her craft.
Yeah.
Clearly,
Oh, here's the-
she's very serious.
Here's the
about it.
video.
Oh, hey.
Ah, damn it.
Oh.
I'm not getting copyrighted.
Nah.
Influencers in the wild.
Is that the same background?
Yep.
Yeah, it's her under the umbrella.
Wow, she's doing that with an audience waiting for her.
Oh, she deserves millions of dollars.
Oh, for
Send
sure,
it to her
man.
right now.
Saving
Throw it
Just
at
a
her.
line
Throw
of
her your
girls
money.
waiting for
Yeah.
selfies.
Yeah.
Is it
Yeah.
is it a psyop that we're just trying to get Americans to like they always point out like, look, kids in China, they want to be astronauts, they want to be mathematicians, they want all these amazing careers, and Americans are just like, I want to dance for a living.
At least
dancing
Addison
her.
Rae realized early on that she didn't want to be an astronaut or a doctor or the president. She just wanted to dance and have fun.
Yeah.
She's doing what she loves.
Live that
She was
privileged
actually
life.
a dancer. Like she has a background in dancing.
Yeah, I think she was
Wow.
like a cheerleader or something.
It's kind of like I always wonder like there's so many things you can make a living at now, like in social media there's so many things you can do for a living if you're really really good at something. Like think about all these backup dancers who have like millions of followers on TikTok and Instagram because they know how to shoot videos in interesting places. But 20 years ago they would have just been stuck behind some celebrity who was probably not as good of a dancer as they were anyways because they just weren't the famous ones. They're figuring out their own way to make money. Like one of my I watched these videos of a guy fixing shoes It's riveting.
He's
It's a cobbler. He's a cobbler. It's riveting. It's freaking riveting, okay? You watch this guy take the sole of a shoe off and put a new one on, and you're just like, 20 years ago, this guy doesn't have a social media following.
He doesn't have a side hustle.
This guy doesn't have a side hustle. He scrounges for tips from his cobbling business. Now I'm over here like shoveling popcorn into my mouth. I'm like, is he gonna do the other one? Like, I love it. I love it.
There are also lots of videos where people like clean horse hooves.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's like apparently a very lucrative business.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, anything with horses is costs a lot of money, right? Because horses cost a lot for upkeep.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Very
so,
expensive pet.
there's just so many things you can do. There's kennels and and stuff that make a lot of money on social media because they just show cute animals interact with people. My new favorite one is the one where they it's the overly pampered dog who it's like a 3-minute ASMR video of the guy like unnecessarily
blow dry it.
and it's
give
amazing.
it a manicure, brush its teeth.
Like they gotta drug those things to keep
it's
that dog.
The cleanest
still.
dog ever.
That might be it.
Yeah, it's like the cleanest dog you've ever seen, but it looks like he's calm the whole time. Imagine
which
if you
I've
tried
never
to-
experienced trying to clean a dog.
Imagine trying to do that with Bucko. Bucko would just judge you.
They
and
do it
yell
to
at
cats
you
too
and-
in those videos.
Yeah. And it makes me sad because I wish Bucko was that amenable to people being around him.
Yeah.
So you can do anything if you're interesting these days.
Right.
All right, so let's go ahead and get started then. So Scooter Braun is a Hollywood celebrity manager. He's represented acts like Justin Bieber, Ariana Grande, Demi Lovato, and many, many others. He's the one who actually discovered Justin Bieber back in 2007 on YouTube. And
that was like a new thing. Like, oh, we found a celebrity on YouTube, this crazy new platform where you can post videos.
Oh man.
It was like new at the time. But on Monday, we talked about this clip that mysteriously resurfaced of Taylor Swift in 2019, talking about how her music was acquired without her permission or consulting, and how she was going to re-record it herself so that she could own it. And I think that this was resurfaced by her PR team because in the following day, we found out that he was being dropped by some of his biggest clients, Ariana Grande, Demi Lovato, Justin Bieber included, and more. And then we found out that it was all just a framing, that he wasn't actually getting fired. And he was really just letting those contracts expire anyway so that he could move on to being the CEO of Hybe, which is a South Korean entertainment business. And he's going to be in charge of BTS. So now all the BTS stans are freaking out, thinking that BTS is the next act that's going to get exploited by evil Scooter Braun. I just don't think that he's evil. I think he's just a better businessman and proved that he was smarter than Taylor Swift.
Yes.
And that's what makes the Swifties so mad. I'm not going to rule out the possibility of Taylor Swift doing a black magic ritual to curse Scooter Braun and bring misfortune on his career. I bet she's done that. I think she's crazier than her own fans.
You said that you think that she's crazier than her own fans because she's so dedicated to being likable, to appearing likable.
Not just likable,
And
not likable,
disliked.
but she is so dedicated to wanting to look like a good person.
Yes.
Like to look virtuous.
Well, no wonder she's so popular right now. That's the case du jour for society these days, is to look like a good person.
Yeah.
While promoting being crazy,
Yeah.
blatantly, but also being like, oh, I'm a nice girl.
She turned I've got a long list of ex-lovers into a flex for women. Isn't that weird?
It's so weird.
Yeah, I really am not a fan because she has so many young girls that are obsessed with her, and I'm like,
It could be worse.
yeah. it
Like
could
I
be
feel
wor-
like
but
she's the pop star that your grandma is okay with you.
it's
being a
almost like
stan-up.
that subliminal messaging though that can be as dangerous, you know?
Yeah. Do you think that it's true she was doing energy, like satanic energy rituals at her concerts? A lot of people were making TikToks about this, saying that.
I
could
wouldn't
see
put
it.
it past her.
I could see that. She
She's
seems
capable
like a
of witchcraft.
succubus a little bit.
Yeah.
But like what we originally thought, we were letting this play out because we didn't want to jump on it too early. We originally thought there must have been some crazy news that dropped about Scooter Braun behind the scenes over the weekend.
Oh yeah, I figured he was
Like,
getting Me Too'd to
he
hell
was
or
going to be
something,
the next Harvey Weinstein
Yeah.
or something. Like there are some big allegations that were about to be dropped, and people were distancing themselves as quickly as possible from this person. And then we just found out that the reality was more boring. And it says his clients have just been letting their contracts expire. Ariana Grande and Justin Bieber are going to continue working with him.
That's because neither of them are really releasing music right now, anyways.
They've been,
not
like
really.
essentially on a hiatus. I don't even know why they're still relevant. You're not putting out any music or touring. Justin Bieber got his weird Ramsey Hunt syndrome. Half his face was paralyzed.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
That like he was still touring before that though,
But
right? Before he got sick.
Cut it
Yeah.
and then hasn't been back.
Wasn't there like a viral video recently of him singing one of his newer, like older songs, super drunk, like hunched over, but like still hitting all the notes? It was very femme fatale, actually. I was kind of.
So here are a couple of anonymous sources that Variety heard from. One said he's imploding, suggesting unsavory revelations are in the works about Scooter Braun. It's a different world since the pandemic. You just can't be an asshole like that anymore.
It's literally the opposite of what happened. COVID made everyone feel okay with being an asshole.
I read that and I was like, what the hell does that even
Just
mean?
had to throw it in there.
Like that might have made sense. Like it's like there was Me Too. You're not allowed to just be this anymore because of Harvey Weinstein. What's COVID got
was
to
way
do with
worse.
it? Justin Bieber should make a song. What's COVID got to do with it? Like that's
The
what he should
pandemic made everyone meaner. It made everybody into
entitled
on all
more
sides.
selfish jerks, especially because you didn't have to look at other people's faces while you're being a jerk to them.
Yep. Too easy.
Another
Also,
one.
his name is not Scooter. People are like, who
What
names
is
their
his real
kids
name?
Scott, right?
What?
It's
Really?
Scott, right? Yeah.
I thought there was like
no
one
idea.
of his associates is named Scott, so now I'm getting
Yeah.
confused.
Well, maybe that's why he goes by Scooter.
And another one said he's getting out of management. He has been for years. That's the real story. So he's really winning here. And all of the memes that the Swifties are putting out about how he's getting blacklisted in the music industry are just copes.
Scott Samuel.
The fact that he's just going to be making more and more hundreds of millions of dollars while not being an artist himself.
They had to make it seem like they dropped him before he dropped them, aka their
You didn't
contracts
fire me, I
expired.
quit.
Yeah.
I broke up with you first. Like,
Exactly.
doesn't matter.
The Taylor Swift stans are just very they're like reveling in other people's misfortune even when no such misfortune exists. One person tweeted, at the end of the day, Taylor Swift's karma has ruined Kanye West's whole sanity, Kim Kardashian's marriage, Justin Bieber, Big Machine, Demi Lovato, and now Scooter Braun's whole career as a manager. Why would you celebrate, especially Kanye West, losing his sanity? Like in any circumstance? He got on stage while Taylor Swift was receiving an award, like over a decade
Therefore,
ago.
he deserves
And
to lose
launched
his
her
wife.
career.
He deserves to lose his sanity, his marriage, and his family, and his career.
Because he was mean to a lady you've never met who makes
was
music
mean
you
to me.
like.
Yeah,
a lady you've never met who doesn't care about you.
Not even mean to me. Mean to a lady I like.
Yeah.
Mean to a lady who makes music I like.
Yeah.
She would be that girl where you don't hold the door open for her, and then she does go out and do like this whole satanic ritual against you and be like, I'm
Yeah.
gonna destroy his life.
Puts a
'cause he
hex
did it."
on you.
Yeah.
She has that song, Karma.
Yeah.
I do feel that Taylor Swift will eventually one day have a reckoning of her own where she'll be the tide will shift and they'll be like she'll get a little bit older and they'll be like she was always mean to everyone
soon
behind
as
the
she hits
scenes.
the wall.
She'll like the very very beautiful and kind public face hit a dark.
She created
inner-
a hostile work
yeah.
environment where her employees were eating bananas out of strippers' vaginas.
mean too for Taylor
She's gonna
Swift.
get mean-tooed.
She's got to be mean, right?
And
she has that face. She just has a
Someone
mean
who's
face.
that dedicated to being seen as a good person, I can't believe that they actually are nice.
Well, not that they're, but just that they're not as perfect. Like when you work very hard to make yourself out to be prim, proper, and perfect, you never live up to those ideals because
Yeah.
nobody is that in
And
actuality.
I find it hard that it's a coincidence she has this long laundry list of like horrible breakups and relationships and like just burn it all down.
It's always
like,
their fault.
It's always their fault.
When
And,
was
like,
her last boyfriend?
And how come they don't come out
Maddie
and speak
Healy.
about it?
I know.
Yeah, her last boyfriend was Maddie Healy,
Hush
but
money.
before that, she was in like a 6-year-long relationship with Joe Alwyn. Everybody claimed that they broke up because she wanted to prioritize her career over marriage and family. But the real hot take is that she wanted to get married and he didn't.
The thing is, though, is like her like to what you said, her pathological need to make all of her breakups the other person's fault kind of mirrors society right now, where everyone kind of takes the approach like, look, it's not me, it's not my fault, society's the problem. Like it's not it could be that every single man you've ever dated is a toxic narcissist hell-bent on destroying you, or it could be that you're just a little bit nutty. And that goes for both. Like you can switch the genders there. I'm not making that a gender issue. That like maybe you're the problem. Maybe bad parenting is the problem.
Especially because Taylor Swift has everything else going for her that you would think, even if she has a horrid personality, someone would stay with her regardless.
Yeah.
Like, she's very attractive, very rich, very
Well, look at Britney Spears. She's
influential.
married now.
charismatic.
You know,
I guess
late
guys
30s.
don't really care about that though. They don't care like ultimately
They-
how much
they do
money
care
a
about
woman
looks,
has. Yeah,
though.
looks. I've heard that guys don't really care about what your career is, so it's like I'm sure it helps a little for sure. But like if she's that difficult to be around, like being like, oh, but I'm Taylor Swift is only going to get you so far.
Yeah, what's her status with other
She's
people?
not dating down. She's not going to date a dude who's like, she's going to date she's going to
Well, she kinda
neutral.
was.
She has to.
How
she
do you
has
date
to.
up from there?
She has
She
to
was
date
dating
neutral.
down with Joe Alwyn. She
Yeah.
was dating down with Maddie Healy.
Career-wise, right?
She should have
Like,
stayed with Joe Jonas.
like career-wise, I guess, yeah. But I guess most women don't in those positions. The reason the CEOs, have a hard time finding someone to date. if
Taylor
they're a woman,
Lautner
is
was
'cause-
that poor nice guy that got rejected by Taylor Swift.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
Like
about
he
that.
was the nice guy that finished last.
That's too bad.
She admitted fault for that one,
Yeah.
but
She probably
I mean,
didn't
he
like
was
that they
just
had the
one of
same
his-
name. She can
yeah.
only be Taylor.
Right.
There can't be two.
guys.
He would have had
guys
to take
don't-
her last name too.
but now Taylor Lautner is married to a woman named Taylor.
Oh my gosh, that's
Yeah.
right.
Guys don't care about your, especially a dude who's self-sufficient and doesn't need multiple streams of income to make a living, or like, who doesn't need like where it's not a 2-income household, doesn't care what job you do.
Right.
If anything, it's just going to make it worse for him, because then it's like, why? If I make enough money for the both of us, why would I want the person I'm with to have a career that keeps them away from me?
Yeah.
That doesn't make any sense, right? That just seems logical to me, especially if you want to have
Yeah.
kids. Like, is some guy gonna be like, "Hey, Taylor, let's have kids," and she's like, "Psych, I'm going on tour for 2 years." Like, it's just not going to work, right?
No, she can tour while pregnant and breastfeeding because women can do everything and they can have it all. And how dare you suggest otherwise?
Yeah.
Beyonce did
Right.
it.
Rihanna
Rihanna did
performed
it.
pregnant.
Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Taylor.
Yeah.
Well, someday those kids are going to have behavior problems, and we'll blame them performing when they should have been resting. That's what we'll do. Right? I think that all of the mishgas with Scooter Braun is blown out of proportion and stupid.
I think that there's still some stuff about this that we don't know because I don't understand why the reps for the celebrities aren't answering questions. All the sources are contradicting each other. I feel like there's something more to the story, and Scooter Braun is really good at getting the media to go with the narrative that he wants.
Yeah, I
So-
saw some people saying that the stories that are being planted at TMZ are because he has a really good relationship with Harvey over there, the guy who runs TMZ.
Yeah, I'm sure. I mean, obviously he's a very good manager.
Yeah.
He knows what he's doing. So he's going to make himself hope, his hope is to look good at the end of all of this.
I also saw some of the critiques from fans of hers saying like he works really hard to shape the narrative that he's a good person. I'm like, that's ironic.
It's not working.
Like, well, I'm saying it's ironic that a Taylor Swift fan would say that, but okay.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
that's ironic to me. But it just shows you that for these people, like when I say like planted stories, that's the thing. Like when these people when they live such public lives, they have to worry day in and day out. Everything that comes out about them matters, right? So a lot of the stories that you end up seeing do end up getting planted. Think Amber Heard with her bruise on the side of her face where she announced that she was going to the police to report it. Like whether the bruise was later proven to be fake.
Yeah,
but even if the bruise is real, just the fact that she called someone to be like, can you be here at this time to see me reporting it proves to you just how strategic they all have to be about their image. It's also something that I would never want to have to do in my life. It sounds horrible. Sounds absolutely horrible.
Yeah, I mean, it's like when Ariana Grande licked that donut.
Yeah.
And then she was like, no, I'm just concerned about childhood obesity. Do you guys remember that?
What is the correlation?
The next day, she was like talking about like America and how we're like so obsessed with sweets. I don't know how she was able to get away with this, but I remember in the context of everything, she was like, and I also want to draw awareness to how much sugar we consume.
There was also a rumor that she forced her security guards to carry her everywhere so that her feet wouldn't hurt. Because she's always wearing stilettos.
Oh my gosh.
That was also a rumor.
That's very
like
classic Hollywood, though.
Yeah,
I like it.
I like it too.
I it's fine. She's paying him money.
She probably weighs like 50 pounds.
She's like this tall.
Yeah.
The security guards are burly. It's fine. Like
I'm sure they don't mind.
What's the big deal? So.
Did she get on that Ozempic train?
She doesn't need it. She's
No, she's
already
always
She's vegan, so she doesn't
Well,
need
it seems like she just got a little bit more skinny in the last, I don't know, year or so.
It's kind of been ever since she left Nickelodeon.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what.
Yeah.
I had never seen those videos. Sarah showed me the Nickelodeon. It was disturbing.
Very disturbing.
The weird
It's
feet
sad.
content they were putting on
Yeah.
Nickelodeon back
So
in the day.
sad.
And
And
the
the
children.
potato content. You've seen
Yeah.
that, right? Did you show her?
Potato.
I didn't show her because I didn't want to ever see that crap again. It was weird.
It's disturbing.
It was weird. So
Maybe you guys in the chat don't know what we're talking about.
And be
Look it
happy
up at
that
your
you-
own risk.
Yeah.
be
not at
happy
work.
that you
Yeah.
don't. So
Yeah, no, it's like actually disturbing.
all right, let's go to Super Chats.
Kanye Diggett said, I just wanted you to read my name. Cheers, guys. All right.
Cheers.
Waffle Sensei said, if you post Alex Jones and they demote you to only see other people on dating apps who post Alex Jones, then I think we'll be okay. Yeah.
Amen.
All the Alex Jones fans are going to get together. Quite Blackfield
Do one more, yeah.
said, paying to send messages is pretty cringe. Yeah.
Correct.
So cringe.
Tell us more.
There's the customer revolt. All right, let's hold off on the rest and we will come back. So, guys, there's a clip from the movie The Breakup that was making the rounds on Twitter recently. Pearl posted this clip, and it just picks a scene in which Jennifer Aniston and Vince Vaughn go back and forth about the perils of husband and wife and what was it called? Domestic labor. We don't call it housework anymore. Domestic labor, and it ignited a discussion about gender roles and what it means to take care of things around the house and what your role is as either a husband or a wife. Should we watch the clip first?
Sure.
All
Pearl
right.
Davis said, this scene really hits different once you're red-pilled.
Okay, so here we go, guys.
Let's see.
No, I don't like waking up to a dirty kitchen.
Cares?
I care, all right? I care. I busted my ass all day cleaning this house and then cooking that meal, and I worked today. It would be nice if you said thank you and helped me with the dishes.
Fine. I'll help you do the damn dishes.
Oh, come on. You know what? No, that's not what I want.
You just said that you want me to help you do the dishes.
I want you to want to do the dishes.
Why would I want to do dishes? Why?
See, that's my whole point.
Are you telling me that you're upset because I don't have a strong desire to clean dishes?
No, I'm upset because you don't have a strong desire to offer to do the dishes.
I just did.
After I asked you.
Jesus, Brooke, you're acting crazy again.
Don't you call me crazy. I am not crazy.
I call you crazy. You said you're acting crazy.
You know what, Gary? I asked you to do one thing today, one very simple thing, to bring me 12 lemons, and you brought me 3.
God damn it, if I knew that it was going to be this much trouble, I would have brought home 24 lemons. Even 100 lemons. You know what I wish? I wish everyone that was at that goddamn table had their own little private bag of lemons.
Gary,
Honest
it's not
to God.
about the lemons.
Well, that's all you're talking about.
I'm just saying it'd be nice if you did things that I asked. It would be even nicer if you did things without me having to ask you.
Well, I do seem to remember doing something for you this morning without you asking.
Gary, come on.
What? I'm
You
serious.
know what? No, I'm
here.
serious.
I am
I
too.
really am. Come on, you knew I was working today and I made that meal, and you could have thought to yourself, you could have said, I think I'm going to get Brooke some flowers.
You said on our very first date that you don't like flowers, that they're a waste of money.
Your girl likes likes flowers, Gary.
You say that you.
It is a very accurate description of the differences between men and women.
Hollywood would never put something out that's that honest these days. That was in 2006.
Oh wow.
It reminds me of look, it's like when your girlfriend has a dream about you cheating on her and spends the day mad at you because you cheated on her in a dream.
Yep.
And every guy's just like, that's absolutely insane.
It is.
So the
Funny
response
joke, but-
to this tweet was a chorus of women either saying, my husband never does housework, he never washes dishes, never does the laundry, never changes diapers, go down the list, and you're really proud of it. Or women saying that you're totally missing the point of the video, it's going totally over your head. It's not that he should want to do the dishes. He should just want to offer to help because it's something you do to be nice. And it was a very polarizing video. Not so polarizing in 2006, but these days it is.
I remember watching that when I was like, I think it came out when I was in 6th grade, and that scene probably like went over my head. I was like, I don't get it. Why are they arguing? But now like it is, you don't really see that anymore. And I'm like, oh, this
Who
is
did
like
you guys say was in the right, or were they both in the wrong, or were they both right?
I feel that because she said I came home from work and did all this. I'm like, I kind of understand. Like, she came home from work, did more work, and then he is like sitting on the couch playing video games,
Probably adding
so
his
I can
dishes to the sink.
understand like to an extent. You know, like 50 years ago, she wouldn't have come home from work to then do that,
And
that
have
just would have been her
something
job.
Yeah.
So-
have something to bitch about. Yeah.
Yeah,
Modern days, man.
that's how I see it.
Dink households.
Well, back in the day, if she didn't have a job, it would be different, right? Like if
She would have nothing to complain about.
Because then the division of labor would be more equal. I guess that's a complicating factor. And then a lot of people were saying like the division of labor is still equal because the housework that men do is what's outside of the house. They like work on the yard, they build things, they fix the house when there are problems, stuff like that. They pay for things. They're probably the breadwinner.
There should be a version where he's like, I don't want you to change the oil on my car. I want you to want to change the oil. I want you to,
what if he
honey,
doesn't know how
if you
to?
don't know, I'm saying it's her. He should say that to her. He's like, look, I don't want you to do it. I want you to offer to do it. I'll do it. It's fine. Like, look, I went to work all day. I came home. I changed the oil. It's fine. I did it. But it would be nice if you offered to change the oil on my car once in a while, honey. But that's weird, and it's never going to happen.
Well, my take is like people don't even own homes anymore. They don't even have yards to take care of. They don't have like this is not a thing anymore. And also like these days, what would they be making combined if they're both kind of suburban professionals? Probably like $250K to $400K combined. And this guy said, you know, in a lot of parts of the world, that would mean you have a servant to do all of the daily cleaning for you. And then instead of that now, because their dollar is worth so little, couples are having fights like this.
I also see a lot of it. Like there's whole channels that are dedicated to like the women who are like, they ask their husband to do something and he does it, and then she just redoes it anyway because he doesn't do it right. And it's like the idea is supposed to be like you have to make one of two decisions. You have to either not ask him, because you're going to get upset, because then they get mad at him for not doing it right, and then they change it. So what you can do, you can go one of two ways. You can either become okay with not asking him and accept that you're a perfectionist, or you can ask him to do it and learn to be okay with him not doing it.
Well, no, because there's a thing called weaponizing incompetence, and that's something that males like to do, is like they purposefully do the dishes wrong because they don't want to do it.
I know my brothers did that like as kids, but once you're an adult, you need to like stop.
Just pull your weight. Just pull your weight, do it right, be functional. It's fine.
What if he doesn't do it the way you want to, and it's not because he's weaponizing incompetence? Maybe he's just not as adept at cleaning dishes.
You could too.
Yeah, well, don't be
Gotta
so
figure
anal
it
about
out.
it then.
Yeah, don't be anal.
You can tell someone to do a favor for you, but you can't micromanage every aspect of how they do it.
Yeah,
you know?
Can't do that.
Otherwise, do it yourself.
Yeah.
You have to learn to be okay with it. Otherwise, otherwise it's not a partnership anymore. You're just bossing them around.
I feel like people are
complaining.
so against like molding to your partner, which is kind of something you have to do to have like a long-lasting relationship. But there's not these types of arguments that happen all the time. But at the same time, this is kind of just like the trope, like the stereotypical like argument that happens. So it's like not all arguments are inevitable. You're going to argue. But I think that this is just the male-female dynamic
Yeah.
at the end of the day. If it wasn't about her working and then coming home, it would be about something else probably.
Yeah.
We're having a very well-adjusted conversation about this, and it's very refreshing because everything on Twitter is the most extreme take. It's like, if your husband ever changes your child's diaper, he's gay. Like, I'm not kidding. They're like people actually unironically having that take.
There was a
Like, they'll just anything.
there was a
Crazy.
there was like a Daily Wire video about like the guys at the Daily Wire not knowing how to use washers and dryers. I remember that.
Which is weird, right? Because they like lived alone at one point, so you had to use a washer and dryer.
Yeah.
You would assume that at some point. Well,
Look,
no,
I don't
they
even
find a way around it.
I don't even know
Buy
how to
new
use a
clothes.
washer and dryer. I just kind of wing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
And it goes
Throw
well.
it in there.
I just throw my clothes away and buy new ones.
You unironically
That is
do
so bachelor, man.
I do that with skating shirts. I wear them a couple of times and then I throw them away.
Yeah.
that. You're so wasteful.
funny.
That
Well, it's 'cause
carbon footprint.
They
man.
never the white shirts never come out just as clean.
No,
and
that's
as
true.
white. So in their undershirts anyways. So because
Yeah.
they're thinner material.
Yeah, I see
Easy to
one
read.
of these tweets here from Pearl responding to someone else saying it actually helps women to be realistic in our expectations rather than expect things we cannot have. And that's a very good blanket statement, but also I like people will say she's the female Andrew Tate and stuff like that, but I disagree with her on a lot of things she says because she's trying to change female nature and be like, oh, if women could just understand and side with men, then everything would be fine. But at the end of the day, they are fundamentally different, and these differences have existed forever. And that's why men will not understand women just as women will not understand men because we
Yeah, well, this is why I
can't.
think Pearl is just kind of going through it, and she's vocalizing this process, this mental process she's going through, because I don't really think at the end of the day she really believes all this, but it is getting her views and
I agree.
attention.
It's inflammatory and it gets clicks and
you think
very
it's all
inflammatory.
just a
Yeah.
grift?
Of course. Yeah, I
Oh,
really
it's like a
do.
proven grift.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no way she's going
It
to
could
still
be a
think this in
mix.
10 years.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
it could be a mix that she like genuinely feels this way, but also it's advantageous to be as extreme as possible.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, there was a
be.
point in time I had those same thought processes that she has and she's talking about, but like you grow out of it because you just kind of see the bigger picture. She has a very narrow look on things right now.
She has a very inexperienced
Yeah.
look and take on things.
Yeah. She's
when
figuring it out.
When you say that Pearl wants to change female nature, what do you mean by that exactly? Like,
Yeah.
what parts of female nature is she?
So I used to watch a lot of her stuff. Like when she was on the up and up, like I actually used to be kind of a fan of hers. And what I would notice they would do is be like, well, what would solve all of our problems would be if women could just understand that men are logic based and just be more logic based. But women literally don't function like that. And I think another girl on that episode was like, well, why can't men understand that women just aren't logic based? And it's like, well, what being logic based is better and it makes more sense, which yes, literally it does. When I have to make a choice, sometimes I'm like, I wish there was a dude here to help me make this choice because, it's going to take me an hour and it would take a dude like 5 minutes.
Sure.
But ultimately, to me, I feel like trying to change female nature, like that's trying to change the nature of women.
That was kind of like how feminism operated or still operates, is like telling men you need to be more emotional, be more open with your emotions.
Don't do that, guys.
And
Like seriously,
a
I'm
smart
serious.
guy
ever.
would hear that and not obey that order. And a
Right,
smart
right.
woman
There
who's
is-
being told you have to be more logical like men, it's not going to work even if you try to force it.
The
'cause it's
worst thing
not
you can
your
do
nature.
is be more emotional around women. It really is.
Yeah.
Any first of all, they don't like it. They'll tell you they do. They don't. They're lying. And maybe they might even be lying to themselves.
Yeah.
Like what do they call it these days? Giving the ick. If you're gonna give them the ick, there's whole videos of people saying like, I asked my husband to be more emotional with me, and like when his dad died, he cried, and I was disgusted.
Yeah, that was so sad.
my God.
Like
that is so
like
pathetic.
just don't do it. It's not worth it.
leave her.
Yeah.
Like
Yo,
I'm not saying
big red flag.
don't share what you're feeling.
When a big life event
But,
happens
yeah.
like that, like
Yeah.
you don't have to run and hide.
Yeah.
But generally, like it's more of the lack of self-control that is a red flag to women, because we have to know that a guy isn't gonna like lose control of any emotion, whether it's
Yeah.
anger or sadness or whatever it may be, because women struggle in that department a little bit more
Tacky
than men.
Platty says the Dadvocate just did something on this too. Yes, you guys should go follow the Dadvocate on Instagram. She has a really, really good channel. She covered the thing we were talking about earlier about what I was talking about earlier about the moms with the dusty ass kid video. Like that's she's really, really good. She's really, really funny. So
I just wanted to read one of the comments that was left on this scene because it was really funny and honest. He said, I definitely put a good woman through this and vice versa, and it sucks looking back knowing you didn't give your full effort. I mentioned this scene to my ex ironically once or twice. Gabby, if you ever read this, mommy, come home, LMAO, I'm hurt, crying emoji. Nah, but for real, LOL, treat your partners right. Sometimes they're once in a lifetime. Gabby, if you're watching this.
the 1,000-foot view of this is like, look, most of the people that watch these videos aren't in the type of income bracket where it's one person working anyways. So your house chores are going to be split in general. Right?
Yeah.
If you own a house, the guy's going to
It's the economy, stupid.
Exactly. So it's...
Oh, and there was another TikTok, a street interview that I wanted to show for this topic.
Yep. Here we go.
Equality and responsibility. How do you find the balance?
Well, why do we have the expression that's a man's job?
Because certain things are a man's job. Because it's like, why gotta take the trash out if there's a man in the house?
Right. So I'm
or
just saying.
Lift heavy things.
Well, right, but it says.
When I'm talking about equal rights, I want equal pay. I want equality. I'm not trying to get. I want to walk the streets and feel safe. That's what I want to do.
But I'm saying. But I'm saying, is it fair to say if you want equal privileges, you need equal responsibilities?
No, I want. Why is responsibilities with equality?
Because you gotta
trying to get equal pay.
Because you gotta take the bad with the good.
Why can't I just have equal pay?
Don't you have to take the bad with the good?
No, you do not. We just have equality, period. You see what I mean? You know what I mean?
So you want equality only when it benefits you?
No, I want equality, period. Because why do we have equality? It should be benefiting women because at the end of the day, men have more privilege than women do.
Well, why do we...
Brett's honest reaction.
He's broken.
We finally broke Brett. It's over.
Seizure.
We finally did it. Yeah.
Wow. Well,
Good luck to whoever dates that woman. Or
You're
tries to
destined for
wrap her
misery.
Seems like a really nice person.
Look, I'm on this debate. My final word is there were good people on both sides. End of story. Let's go to Super Chats.
All right.
Andrew Jacobs said, "Hi Sarah, great job with Cast Brew on Cast Castle."
Thank you.
Oh, and on Cast Castle. Yes. Disco Jensen said, dating apps are a spicy topic. Stats can be cherry picked, but generally only the most attractive and successful men actually get matched. 80% lose.
I mean, that's what they say, right? Like that it's like 80% of the 20% of the men take 80% of the women, right?
Well, I looked into that, and the study that was done that like made that statistic is from OkCupid, and then they deleted it like many years ago, so you can't find it
That's
anymore.
feminist bullshit.
It's kind of weird, right?
Yeah.
Well, it makes their product look like it doesn't work, so that's why they deleted it.
It should be OkCupid.
But I
Be the
think
20%.
it proved that, yeah, like more. Okay, women like find more men to be like below their standard, but are more willing to message men who are below their standard versus the men who they're willing to message.
Yeah.
Wait, say that again?
Like, I don't know exactly how to explain this, but basically they found that like the women rated a lot more men as like below their standard of attractiveness, but were more willing than men to message people that were below their standard of attractiveness. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Disco Jensen said, I'll bet a Netflix subscription that Snyder's sci-fi epic will be all style, no substance, per his usual direction. If there is a substance, it will die.
Well, yeah, that's the big fear for that is that you can do all style, no substance on the big screen
I'm
in
sorry.
a quick period of time.
He meant the substance will be diversity, inclusion, equity.
Yeah. Like
that kind of die.
Like it's one thing to be all style and no substance when you're watching it on a massive, studio screen, like theater screen. But when you're just watching it at home, and you don't have the low lights and the loud sounds and everything to keep you in your seats, it can be a lot harder to stay engaged in something like that that's purely visual.
I think that's why I didn't like the latest Batman movie, because I watched it at a drive-in and the sound was messed up and awful, and I was like, just very
Was
mid.
it cool though, that drive-in experience?
That was
Besides
fun.
the sound being
Yeah.
okay.
I did it during 2020 because that kind of blew up, but
Okay.
overrated.
Okay.
Yeah, a little overrated for sure.
Fear Me It's Bree said, I found a New York Post article called Why I Am Hoping for Another COVID Lockdown. It was a conditioning propaganda puff piece, and it was depressing. Yeah, sounds like it.
That's depressing. Let's hold off on the rest and we'll come back
They just
to it.
love Zoom meetings.
Well, no,
like
and
obsessed.
I really do believe that a lot of people they felt like they were special and they were living through some amazing thing that was a once in a generation
We're
thing.
living in a historical era.
So they felt like they were special because of it. So they got
Which
used to it.
you were anyway, because the internet happened like 20 years ago. So
All right, let's hold off on the rest and we will come back after the fact, shall we?
Okay.
Mary, tell us what's going on with ugly beauty.
yeah, ugly beauty is the new trend that's taking over Hollywood. Specifically, Hollywood women have done away with looking good on red carpets. They just want to look as disturbing as possible. They're shaving their eyebrows off or bleaching their eyebrows, shaving their heads, doing crazy makeup, trying to look like greasy aliens. And I guess, the age of sexy women is just over. Am I right?
Gotta hold it down.
I mean, it's not totally true. Like, I still see even the most, like, feminist harpies, when they go on the red carpets, they look great. They look super feminine. They lean into looking feminine.
That's why I hate it in the movies. I hate it
And then
when
in the
they make
movies-
these women ugly in the movies and then they
Yeah.
go to the red carpet events and they're all smoking hot. I hate that. Because the men don't want to watch the red carpet. The men want to watch them in the movies.
Charlize
Exactly.
Theron.
Yeah, I only see that crap because of this job. Right? I'm not going to see it otherwise. And it's also inherently a lie because they then flaunt those ideas, the ideas of ugly as virtue, as something that makes them somehow better than you, the average person who might be a misogynistic loser who, for God forbid, wants to see attractive people on screen. That makes no sense. Hollywood movies, it's a visual medium. You're not supposed to be ugly. You can be homely. You can be somebody who looks representative of you can be an older person who's not super good looking. But if we're looking at mainstream actors, I don't want to see normal looking James Bond. I don't want Black Widow to look like she just walked out of a Walmart. I want them to be good looking because it's a visual medium. What did they say in comics? The men should look like gods. The women should be va-va-voom. That's all of them.
We clipped you saying, like, I don't want to see people who look like me on screen.
Yes, if I wanted to see normal looking people, I would just look in the mirror. But I'm not going to. I want to see good looking people on screen. That's not that hard. And it really is an activist approach to these industries because ugly women got jobs in middle management in HR departments. Sorry, ladies. It's just, I'm not being sexist. HR departments run like 80% women, right? So like who's going to hire? It's like hiring a guy to do intimacy coordinator. It's just asking for trouble, right?
Very much.
It's not a compliment to the guys either. I'm saying that you can't be trusted in that position. I'm saying that normal looking women, normal looking activist women got hired to these positions. They were indoctrinated through universities, and they somehow felt that they need to fundamentally change how these businesses work for the sake of what? Representation? If you want to be represented, go to your local store and look at people that look like you. That's fine. You don't need to see people who are your level of ugh on a movie screen. You don't. You
Go
don't.
off,
No one
Brett.
should.
That was a bit of a tangent, but I mean, what would be more revolutionary? Trying to look like a transhumanist alien on a red carpet or going makeup free on a red carpet? Has anyone done that? Has anyone even thought about doing that?
I think Alicia Keys did it for a little bit, and then she just like seamlessly went back to wearing makeup and never said anything about it.
Why did she do that? Did she like do it as a statement, or was it just, I don't feel like...
I think she was just like, I'm sure it was a bit of a statement. She was like, I just don't want to put that toxic, I don't know if she even said like, oh, that toxic stuff on my face. She just was like, I'm going to embrace my natural beauty. And she could. She
Then
still
she was
looks
like,
good.
"Never mind."
Yeah, and she's like, actually,
Well,
Well, it
Alicia
does-
Keys got yelled at by her kid for.
If you're getting like flash photography, you're gonna
you're
look
surrounded by people
pretty
in full
bad if you
makeup.
don't put on at least a little bit of makeup.
Right. You're gonna look washed out.
And also, I mean, a lot of in Hollywood, and this is unfortunately more geared towards women, is like, look, your shelf life when it came to beauty, when HD cameras became a thing, got shorter because they can't hide the flaws as easily. Like, they make makeup specifically for being seen on high def cameras, stuff that's made to withstand like studio lighting, which will just melt from what I understand, will just melt the makeup right off your face, right? So it's like, look, I get why there's pushback on that, but at the end of the day, that's the way the cookie crumbles, and it's just you get your 5 to 10 years
That's the
of
way
being.
your foundation crumbles.
You get like 5 to 10 years of being like hot on screen, and then after that you make way for the next group of people, and then you move on to, and then they complain when they're like, now I'm getting roles where they're casting me as a mom. Boo hoo hoo. Like, what do you want? What do you want?
You are mom age.
And it is a bit unfair and skewed towards the men, because men grow into their roles and women grow out of them. Men grow into the roles that make them more prominent on screen. Like, if you're going to play some high-powered CEO or evil supervillain, you're a little bit older, right? You grow into that role. Like, I watched, there's a show called Everwood with Chris Pratt. You will see that Chris Pratt grew into his face. He was very weird looking on screen when he was like in his early 20s or like as a late teens, right? Guys grow into their faces, girls grow out of their faces.
What's the peak age for guys?
50?
No way.
I don't know. Like,
in your
When do
opinion?
you personally, Brett, find men most like attractive?
they're gonna get,
I thought there was, like, a
they're gonna
statistic.
get those roles. They're gonna start getting those roles in their late 30s, and that's gonna go on until they're 50. If they're successful enough, you get to be a Liam Neeson or a Denzel Washington who can like transition into old man action roles like Keanu.
Because it
A lot
fits
of
the
people
role.
are saying like late 30s is too old for a James Bond, but I guess that's because
That's different. That's
you're committing to
you're
it
committing
for
to
like a
15
decade.
years of the role. You have to be in your at the oldest late 20s.
Why can't James Bond movies just be a one-off?
It's just that's just decorum. They've all done multiple. I mean, almost all of them have done multiple movies, so that's just the way it is. It's just ridiculous.
This is good news for me. It says dark under eye circles are now in. You should want to accentuate them instead of covering them up.
Oh, I thought that phased out. I thought that was a thing
I'm
for
bringing
a hot
it back.
second.
I'm single-handedly bringing back the dark under eye circles.
Great.
So a psychologist weighed in and said, it tells me that women who are playing around with makeup, exploring different looks, are critically analyzing their relationship to makeup and self-expression and how their relationship to makeup can best serve them instead of men, evil men and their male gaze. That's what they're combating. Another one said, it's a feminist approach, radicalizing the female gaze. Beauty shouldn't be a democracy as it is now, but with the majority deciding what is beautiful and what is cool. This is kind of a false premise that they're working from. Like, nobody decided what was beautiful. I guess you could say God or nature decided that. Nobody's individually voting that Scarlett Johansson is hot. You're kind of ignoring that an objective standard does exist, regardless of what your opinions are.
Yeah.
Oops.
What's wrong?
Uh-oh.
Oh.
I fucked up.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Whoops. That's what they get for somebody saying that I'm a hard 5.2 in the chat.
Oh my God.
They meant 5'2".
Just for that, you don't get. That's worse. Like, just for that, you don't get a full Crisis Party sound effect.
What just happened?
Uh-oh. That's false.
Is it just gonna go like this for the rest of the show?
Okay, we're good.
Huh.
That
Okay,
was
cool.
so weird.
That was weird.
Is there a ghost in
So
the studio?
if I'm a 5, if my rating is a 5 out of 10, then they don't get a full Crisis Party. Sorry, you get half a Crisis Party.
Guys, don't say that stuff. It's mean.
Very mean.
And then we have this other headline. Sadie Sink says she felt empowered by cutting her long hair into a short bob.
What does that mean? Like, I'm a guy, so maybe I just don't get this. What the fuck does that mean?
Cara, you have really long hair. Would you feel
I do have
empowered
really long hair
by cutting it?
It's pretty long. There was a time I was 22 and I chopped it off up above my shoulders, and it was very liberating. I wouldn't really say much empowering, but it was like there was a liberation to it. I guess empowerment can come from that, but
The liberation of like not having to spend hours taking care of it,
and
probably.
money and it getting caught in your armpit and around your neck and
Okay.
yeah, okay, you know what I mean?
It's still stupid, but fine. I
Sadie
just don't get
Sink's
it.
reason was a lot more stupid. She said, I never really thought about cutting my hair in my own life. It never crossed my mind to do something like that, but once it happened, I felt very empowered by it. With long hair, it was always such a talking point. My hair was a very defining feature for me. So to get rid of that, especially just turning 21 and stepping into adulthood, that big change really felt exciting.
I have to agree. It was exciting. It's like, man, I haven't had my hair this short like ever.
Well, her
you
response is more like, oh, people like this thing about me. Let me get rid of it.
Yeah.
Like, isn't that kind of pathological?
It is though. You want to withhold the greatness that people
like
are enjoying of you.
ungrateful. Yeah.
It's like, oh,
people
look,
love you.
men like my hair. I don't want them to have something to like anymore because their gaze is inherently evil.
It is uncomfortable. It can be, yeah.
Also, Sadie Sink should have played Ariel in The Little Mermaid.
I thought that too. They stole that
Natural
role
redhead,
from her.
getting
They took
ginger
that.
sided
Yep.
once again.
Was she in Black Mirror?
I don't know. I
She
just
might
know
have
her from
been.
Stranger Things.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
I just there's just a weird
was in The
Hollywood
Whale.
war on beauty that goes to multiple levels. The women don't actually believe it. I don't buy that the women actually believe it. I believe that I believe that their publicists think it sounds good for them to say garbage like this.
Who has the honesty and integrity with themselves to just admit that being good looking and being thin is important to them in Hollywood at this point, or in general? Like, everyone has to cloak it in polite language, like, oh, you know, I really care about self-care and like fitness, taking care of my body. And what you really mean is that you just care about being thin because now you're on Ozempic. Like, we don't know what the side effects of Ozempic are. Like, you could be killing yourself.
Yeah. Right.
We have
They're
no
the
idea.
guineas. They're guinea pigs.
It's a diabetes medication.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Looking good is that important?
Yeah, and I would just appreciate if they admitted that looking good is important to them. Because we know that they look good and they work hard to maintain that.
Yeah, I can
Most of them,
understand
at
as the
least.
audience, as a viewer, that they need to
Maybe not
have
Lizzo.
upkeep. Yeah,
But
different level.
the rest of them, at least,
It's because it's
they do
why you're
hours of
allowed
meticulous
to
work
it's
and
why
spend so much money.
it's why you're allowed to skinny shame but not allowed to fat shame, because they see it as inherently good to shame people that are skinny because they see it as bad. And this would
they're
even,
higher up.
This would even go back to Marxist beliefs, right? To destroy all that was once a standard for the West. And if there's a beauty standard, the idea is to turn it on its head, turn it upside down and inside out, so that nothing that you saw that was once recognizable as either a standard of beauty or something to aspire to in your culture is now different, gone. Destroyed in place of a vain ugliness that's shrouded in virtue, which is stupid and dumb, and it's the celebrity's fault for engaging with this mess.
At least when Britney Spears shaved her head, it was because she was having a mental breakdown, not because
Yeah.
she thought she was going to make a statement about beauty standards out of it.
Yeah, she was pissed.
You know?
Well, but also now we
very
live in an
pissed.
age, because of social media, you're expected to have like a reason for everything you do.
Yeah.
Like you like, if you make any change in your life, it has to be like, why? Why did you make this change in your life?
Yeah.
Oh, it's because my girlfriend and I broke up. Oh, it's because I'm starting a new chapter. Sometimes you just change and that's fine.
Well,
I think they see it as more of an opportunity too, to draw attention to something so mundane and arbitrary that people do every day.
by making all of your decisions about defying men and the male gaze and expectations that are put on you by men, you're still centering your life around men. So
Yeah.
it's not really the feminist W that you think it is.
Yeah.
Julia Fox even admitted that she bleaches her eyebrows because men don't like it and it pisses off the father of her child.
Yeah,
So-
so she's spiteful.
It's
Like, look at that
I'm
video.
so hot. I have to bleach my eyebrows. That's the only thing that makes me not hot.
Yeah, and she used to look really good.
Okay, since you guys obviously love the bleached eyebrows, I'm going to do a little tutorial on how to do them. As you can see, I have some growth coming in, the little black stubbles. we don't like those. So I'm going to show you what I use to achieve this look. These are the two things I'm going to use. This has violet in it, which will cancel out the yellow. I always bleach with some sort of color corrector thing. And then I use this 10 developer. That should be enough. And then just a little drop of this. Gonna mix it together.
She sounds very disturbed.
To create this paste.
I'm making my little potion.
Now this
Wouldn't
is
want a man
optional.
to
You
look
don't
at me
have
and
to
not
do
be
it,
grossed
but
out.
I'm gonna go ahead and I don't have my Egyptian magic here at my house, so I'm gonna just put a little bit of Vaseline and just kind of line my brows with it. Just, to protect the skin, but it's optional. You don't really need to do it.
Just burn the skin. I'm sure men would hate that too.
Just shave them off.
Just shave them.
If a man told you to
wanna make sure
not
to get
jump
any on
off a
your actual
bridge,
brow, or else the bleach won't
Oh, then
take.
she will.
Okay, so now that that's on, we're going to go ahead and apply the bleach. You want to make sure, I didn't show it, but you want to make sure that your brows are really clean. So I washed them with soap and water and let them dry fully. And then you want to get in between all the little hairs.
like what is going through someone's mind? Like what is going on in their
It
life?
oxidizes really quickly, so
This
once
is
you mix
watching this
your
and being like,
mixture
"Oh,
together,
I'm
you
gonna-
want to
I'm
make
gonna
sure
bleach
that
my
you
eyebrows
use it
too."
immediately. Also, this is just a watercoloring brush. You can use anything. Sometimes if I'm like in a hotel or something, I'll just use a Q-tip.
Honest question. Did she get like trauma to the face at one
And
point?
like these two
honestly.
Wow.
Honestly, no, this is an honest question.
I think she has other trauma.
I don't. Yeah, she's got
on for about 10
interior
minutes.
Look
trauma.
at her mouth. Look how it
Okay,
moves.
it's been on for 10 minutes. I'm going to take it off.
Oh, I think
She
it's
has nerve
probably
damage.
fillers or
I still see
injections.
a little bit of black.
Oh,
Yeah, I see what you
stubbles.
mean.
So I'm just going to hit it.
Okay.
Not on my hair. I'm going to hit it one more time. Okay, this is the final. As you can see, there
It looks the same. It looks
did it
exactly
myself.
the
No
same.
men are looking at me.
The purpley.
And no one's gonna be looking at me now.
Yes, now you can do
It's
it.
very
It took me
unfortunate,
20 minutes
right?
total.
Because
Yeah.
Julia
Also,
Fox
I just
used
wanna
to
say
be
that I love having
like-
the bleached brows because
Didn't
it's
she
kind
date
of like
Kanye?
a man repellent.
She's the muse,
She used to-
right?
Here's what she
They
says.
absolutely hate. Yeah. Also, I just want to say that I love having the bleached brows because it's kind of like a man repellent.
Yes.
They absolutely hate it.
Like
my
hairy
son's
legs.
father gets so triggered by these eyebrows, so that's why I continually do them.
Fantastic role model.
What was she originally famous for?
She acted a couple of times.
Yeah, she's
And
acted
then
in a couple projects.
She
She's
was in Uncut
modeled.
Gems.
Uncut Jams. Dating Kanye. That's pretty much the exhaustive list.
People like that used to just go away, but because you have social media now, even
Yep.
if she's not getting acting roles, somehow
Yep.
people will still watch her bleach her eyebrows.
Like she
She's
used
got a
to
Liza Blue
be the male gaze. She used to be va va voom, and she had curves.
Yeah, I remember
She had some meat on her bones, and then she got all of that lipoed out of her body
She got
to look
Balenciaga.
like a gay alien.
Alien.
And it's unfortunate. It's just not a look.
Yeah. I feel like this started from like the effortless look and it just missed the mark and it's just become trying to look as ugly as possible
Yeah.
on purpose.
What is the effortless look? Is it like looking good without putting effort in, or is it just looking bad?
It's like looking good while looking like you didn't put any effort in. You know, it's like that
Okay.
natural makeup.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Messy
Yeah.
bun.
It's like I didn't try that hard, but I still look good. But I
Yeah.
look like I didn't try.
hmm
Okay.
I,
I
like
woke
that
up this
better
way.
than ugly beauty.
Yeah.
I woke up this way.
I woke up this
Yeah.
way.
Yeah.
Same.
Just it just proves to you that the people that are out there that are going to be role models for your kids will have an agenda that will make them extremely adversarial to people other than themselves, and it's going to be depressing.
Well, on that cheery note,
Thanks.
Do you think this is one of those things where it's like back, like why is it so bad if she was doing this and she's like I like imagine this is the other way. She's like I dye my hair, my eyebrows some color because men love it. Like, is that a bad thing?
Yeah.
Inherently?
Well, she says that to avert the male gaze while she then gets into her car, which was built, by or engineered and designed by men. And then she goes onto the roads that were built by men and are kept up by men. And, like her entire life can only exist due to men, but she doesn't want them to look at her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That doesn't make
It's great stuff.
Yeah.
So she's trying to seem like she doesn't want attention.
But clearly,
Right.
Well, if that was true, you wouldn't make
you would just
videos
wear
about how you don't want attention.
all attention
I'm
is
gonna
good
buy
attention.
these women like burqas, all of them, just to like shut them up. Be like, look, there you go. No more male or female, any
Gazing.
gaze. You're good. I got your back. That's what you wanted, right?
It's a good idea.
Let's go to Super Chats.
Fear Me It's Bree said, gender reveals genuinely scare me now. The earlier we can find out, my fear is the more people will seem to have elective abortion mindsets of, oh, whoops, it's a boy? Darn, let's try again. Ooh. Yeah, we're going to go like full Chinese, like communist China. Like, yeah.
That's scary.
Yeah.
That would be very
Hopefully that's not happening. Disco Jensen said, I've seen more videos on the web of wives shaming their husbands publicly than I have of any kind of shaming of wives.
Non-public, that's not going to happen. Like, not really. Like, is some dude going to be out there? Like, I mean, what would it be?
Oh, yeah.
What would he be shaming her for in public? It would, like, stop buying everything. Like, they're in Target, and he's like, stop putting so much crap in the cart. We can't afford it all. Like, is that what it is? Like, it is a culture of like men, like where they just kind of like they accept like, oh well, like have you ever seen the videos like I go with my wife to Target and he's just sitting there like miserable the whole time. He's like along for the ride and she's like filling up the cart, and maybe what he's thinking is actually like, can we actually afford all this stuff? Why am I here? Why do I need to be here? But he's not going to shame her for that because that's not the culture.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. Like, have I seen TikToks where men are shaming their wives?
I mean, there's always the videos of like the videos where the woman's hitting the guy, and that like you see the videos where the guy just drops her on like.
Yeah.
It's like literally a sport where like people like are they going to get involved, and no one gets involved because everyone's just like averting their eyes and pretending like the woman isn't like slapping the dude like this at a restaurant somewhere. Though my other favorite one is it's the picture. It's like the universal sign of a dude without a job where like the girl's paying and he's like got his hands
hugging
in her
from
back
behind.
pockets. Yeah. Like it's like you've got a guy who clearly can't afford it, so he's like, oh, thank you.
That's the jobless hug. Perturbed Alpaca said, too much credit to TikTok and YouTube. Americans have been pitting down actual labor in favor of performing in front of a camera since at least the 80s.
Which is funny too, because like so many people like are uncomfortable in front of cameras, but now more people are just being bred into feeling more confident while speaking. Like we're gonna like in 10 years, there's gonna be no stage fright. Like no kid's gonna have to come up. No kid's
because
gonna
all
have
the
to.
kids that are making TikToks, they're still nervous to order a pizza.
That's true. Yeah,
It doesn't translate to real life.
Yeah.
Yeah, they won't. Like, can I turn in a video for my presentation? Like, I don't want to give a speech in front of the class. Like, eventually, valedictorian speeches are going to be TikTok dances.
Yeah,
where they're gonna do a 3-minute dance while talking about the future of America's children. Yeah,
Doesn't say anything good about them. Nope. Disco Jensen said, 750 watching. Can we get the likes to 350?
Yeah, could you guys please hit the like button, please? It worked yesterday when I asked, would you hit the like button?
The button works.
It does.
It adds a like.
But just to double check, you guys could hit it. Please.
Could you check that the button is working for us,
thank
please?
You. Do one more and then we'll move on.
Shane H. Wilder said, now I can't stop picturing Taylor Swift in a cloak and hood at a black mass. I guarantee it's happened before.
Yep.
Who's her doppelganger from decades ago? Like Queen of Darkness or something?
Oh, yeah. There
What's
was a
her name?
famous Satanist that a lot of people thought was her mother.
They look a lot alike, man.
Or like a clone of her.
There was like on a scale of 1 to 10, how much of a conspiracy theorist are you?
I'm definitely a 10.
Was that the picture? I saw that. I saw that video or that picture recently.
Yeah, it's really creepy.
From?
Yeah, how do they look so much alike?
Yeah, it's interesting that she got so famous so young. You would think that she possibly does have some kind of a connection or like a familial lineage.
She just has stage parents is the thing.
All right. Now that we've depressed you about relationships and dating, we've depressed you about the male gaze and how women want to attract men by being ugly because Hollywood's promoting it. Let's depress you further by talking to you about the latest TikTok trend, which is to just drink poison. That's what they're doing, ladies and gentlemen. It's borax. It says drinking borax is the latest social media trend medical authorities are working feverishly to debunk. They're saying that if you put a pinch of it in your water, it could reduce inflammation and joint pain.
I think it causes it.
I think people just have so many unexplained ailments these days because our water is poor quality, the food is poor quality, there are toxins in everything, dyes in everything, microplastics, fluoride, you name it. And now they're going to even more poisonous substances to cure the ailments that come from our drinking water and the food we buy in grocery stores. And it's just a toxic cycle that continues.
Somebody said, Brett, can you uplift us? I said, if we get a second crisis party, I'll think about trying to uplift everyone.
He will consider it.
I've got the video that I think could uplift everyone. Maybe we'll show that if we get a second crisis party. Just saying. Yeah, first Tide Pod challenge. Now we've got this.
Yeah, the Tide Pod challenge wasn't people trying to like give themselves a treatment for some kind of illness. They were just trying to get clout
at home.
Because they you gotta admit, the Tide Pods do look appetizing, right?
It's unfortunate. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, because I never used it. I never used a Tide Pod until years after that was like already a thing. So I was very like aware of how stupid people were for doing that. So it never looked appetizing.
It's huge. How could you possibly swallow one?
It's like, is the idea you're supposed to poke a hole in it and then
just chug it?
You don't swallow it whole. You're supposed to like chew it up, right? Because the plastic it'll like
melt.
Melt in your mouth.
Dissolve. Yeah.
It's even sounding more appetizing as I
when you put it like that, actually,
and it just looks like sour juice in there.
Yeah. There's candy out there like that though. Just eat candy.
Yeah.
I want
Gushers.
some like company to illegally make Tide Pod candy. And it just
like
looks
the cigarette
exactly
candy.
like
Yeah.
Even
That'd be very lucrative.
the dish detergent pods, they look like sweet tarts.
Yeah, they do. One
Been
side
thinking
of it.
about it.
I'm showing my Zoomer nature right now.
I'll
I
buy
just
you
desperately
snacks,
want to
Mary.
eat cleaning products.
I just love the idea that there's like medical professionals that are forcing everybody to, they're like, look, could you please stop eating the household cleaning chemicals? It says borax has been banned in U.S. food products, but some people on TikTok have falsely suggested that adding a pinch of it to their water could reduce inflammation. It could also stop your breathing if you were looking to stop doing that. Like you could always do that.
That also stops your joint pain.
What if they're onto something?
Yeah.
What if they're onto something?
It says
For legal reasons, I'm joking.
her name is Kelly Johnson Arbor. It says Johnson Arbor is a toxicology physician and co-medical director at the National Capital Poison Center. She routinely writes articles for the center's website that correct the record about dangerous health fads. Like, why does this poor lady, she had COVID-2 electric boogaloos on the way, and you guys are out here making her write articles about borax.
I think the next health fad she needs to work to debunk is the idea that you should eat raw beef testicles in a cereal of raw milk. Like Liver King.
Yeah, or any raw animal organs and insides. For that matter.
Be careful with that, man.
Just fry it up real quick.
Here's a video of them talking about it.
It kills the nutrients.
Yep. Here's a video of them talking about it. Of the lady talking about it here. If this would load.
It's not.
It's going to load here. Is our internet down? No, the internet's just really slow right now. Why is it not doing that? But yeah, maybe. Oh, there it is. There it is.
Oh, okay.
Borax is a new compound made up of these different atoms, boron, sodium, oxygen, and hydrogen. They're
Sounds
bonded
appetizing.
together. A new compound. It is not like a salad of atoms.
You
like
mean their
put
ingredients?
Boron and sodium and oxygen, hydrogen into a bucket. They're actually bonded together as a new compound. They have new properties. Another example is carbon monoxide. It's a carbon and an oxygen together. Those aren't necessarily dangerous, but you put them together and carbon monoxide can kill you. Also,
now people are going to start doing like the carbon monoxide challenge where they unhook the carbon monoxide detector and they're just like, look, it feels great. Like I can't wait. It's going to be great.
dose makes the poison.
To get loopy.
I'm gonna go let my car run in the garage.
Like
and
Dane,
drive to the dentist.
Dane was telling us that like in middle school or whatever, these kids would take turns like choking each other until they faint. to get high off of the lack of oxygen. And I was like, what middle school were you going to?
Why weren't
Dude,
they
it happened
Puerto
to mine,
Rico's
too.
hardcore, man.
You saw that?
Oh
Like,
yeah,
that's a
kids
thing?
wanted to do
What?
it to me, and I was like, no, I'm not stupid. You're just making each other pass out. You can die from that. Like I'm 12 years old. I'm not going to do that.
It's okay because what America did, they're like, look, we'll just put them all on Adderall. And we'll get them. They'll be high as fuck anyways. They won't need to choke each other out
they're too
because
happy
they'll be fucking going off like speed freaks. It'll be great, and thank you, Big Pharma. You fixed that problem. We appreciate it.
Anything can be toxic. It just depends on the dosage. Even things that are necessary for life, like water and oxygen, can be toxic in doses that are too high. Borax is an awesome insecticide and fungicide, and it's great for laundry, but it is toxic to your kidneys, and you should not be drinking it.
I feel like anybody who's watching this who's drinking borax is already not listening.
I like the idea.
So you're kind of just screaming into the void.
I like the idea that like this person's like drinking it right here,
Natural
and here's this video. It's like,
borax, so good.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm so glad I caught this one in my like this one. This played right after a borax challenge video.
Yeah.
And they just happened. They're like, that looks like fun.
Yep.
Oh crap! The lady said no. Don't do it.
Silly me.
Like,
I don't think she's changing hearts and minds.
is this a product of just we don't have? Sure, we're never gonna own homes. Sure, we're going to be kind of the middle class has kind of been eliminated, but we really don't have a whole lot of struggles. So instead, we're like, my arm looks like it's a little bit inflamed. I'm going to drink some bleach because somebody on the internet told me to.
Gosh.
Right? Like
It's not even an off-label use of borax. Does not have any off-label uses, do they?
The better thing is like I now what I'm picturing is like some kid going to the doctor and he's like, so I heard about this thing called borax that would be good for my joints. And the doctor's like, no, borax is for killing insects. It's not to it's not to make your joints better.
Yeah.
What was it that people were doing during lockdown to like try to cure their COVID? They were like drinking. Were they not like drinking bleach, literally?
No, I mean, what was?
I think that was a misunderstanding. Like, didn't Trump say, like, they claim that Trump said that, but that's
people
not
are
actually
finding a
what
lot
he
of at-home
said.
remedies, the best remedies.
What was it that he was getting because that was he was using it off label for something. What was it that he was taking, guys? I forget what it was called.
I mean,
over the
ivermectin.
it wasn't ivermectin. It was something hydroxychloroquine.
Okay.
That's what it was. And there was one person who did drink it. An old man drank it and died. I think.
Oh.
And I'm sure the news had fun with that one.
Yeah.
They stuck it in my brain for this long.
Yeah. Yeah.
I guess they won.
Never forget.
Just don't take the bleach. Don't eat the Tide Pods. Don't let your neighbors or your friends choke you until you pass out.
Yeah.
I feel like these things are self-explanatory.
Yeah.
I could be wrong. Maybe this is stuff that
they just want to feel something.
Yeah. You turned into Mr. Rogers there for a second.
I mean, that is what it is, right? I was actually, this is such an aside, but I was, when we talked about American Beauty at one point on here, or even like a movie like Office Space, and I think about Hollywood making movies about like the doldrum boredom of middle-class America. Like, is there anybody less qualified to write about like the boredom of the middle class than like Hollywood writers?
Yeah.
Like, we let it affect a generation of our kids, you know, like that would have been like a Gen X movie, right? Like American Beauty would have come out at a time when like my brother was in high school, I think, or something like that. But those movies or Office Space, they spoke to a generation of people. But when you really think about it,
they were making movies about their parents who they presumed to be miserable.
Nowadays, everyone's like, man, I would kill for that boring office job with a great 401k. Like if only the only thing I had to worry about was a fax machine that I hated. Like, wouldn't that be great if that was it? But it was like, you know, it's just weird that it's like the rich people that wrote the movies, and it still spoke to a generation better than that. Now we got to worry about your kids being spoken to by people who are telling them to eat Tide Pods and drink bleach. Like, drink bleach was an insult you told someone to. He's like, what?
Yeah.
That's literally something you did to insult someone back in the day. Go drink bleach.
Now it's health advice.
Now it's
Or if someone was really dumb, you'd be like, what, did you drink bleach as a kid?
Yeah. Like,
It's like,
now it's like,
yes.
actually, yes, I did, because I saw a guy on TikTok say that it was going to make my joints feel better.
People just need to get their kids off that app.
Off that app, yep.
Off the clock app.
Mm-hmm.
The
Immediately.
Off those, all of them.
It's nothing good happens there. Fun fact, like whatever good happens there is outweighed by the bad, right? Like, I watched this clever video. Sure, but your kid is going to watch a video about drinking bleach, and he's going to go under. You're going to have to childproof. You're going to have to get teenage child locks for your cleaning supplies because of these apps.
Yeah.
Maybe Kellen was right. We do need to raise the voting age.
Ugh, I don't know. I mean, or this is natural selection, and it's just like,
Ooh.
am I supposed to care? But if they're adults, I guess it's the parents are the bad people. It's not good because the parents are the bad people for not better raising their kids to say, hey, don't drink bleach.
That's kind of the bare minimum of parenting.
Like it's like there's a scene from Madam Secretary where like their oldest daughter drops out of college and they're like lamenting what's going on, and they're like just like they're going through their kids one by one and talking about them, and they're all good kids. They're like, Stevie dropped out of college, and then she's like she doesn't do meth. He goes, that's a high bar. That's what it is now. It's like our kid didn't go to college. He's not going to get a good job. Well, he doesn't drink bleach.
So
it's a high bar.
Right.
It's good. It's perfect. It's fantastic. All right, let's go to Super Chats. Now that, oh no, you know what? We didn't get a second crisis party. I would have liked to have gotten a second crisis party. I would have preferred that, guys, but I'm going to raise everyone's spirits here just a little bit. We're going to watch
this. Show will continue until morale improves.
Exactly. We're going to watch this old clip of Donald Trump, and everybody can...
I love it. I love it.
Here we go, guys. Are you ready?
I love that man.
Here we go. This is Donald Trump.
I'm obsessed with this video. This is us right now.
Brett's driving.
So it's Donald Trump quietly driving his Rolls Royce while listening to Blank Space by Taylor Swift. As Melania films it from the back. I like how they point out awesome. with the flash on. She's a boomer. She doesn't know how the phone works. And Barron is over there living his best life, who's going to one day be the dictator that they worried that... I do believe this. I believe that Barron will end up the dictator that everyone was afraid Donald would be. Because they mistreated him his whole life.
We deserve.
Yes.
I love that video so much.
So,
That's so awesome.
like, do you think he likes Taylor Swift secretly? Like, do you think she's the best?
Didn't he say that he likes some of her songs, but he like criticized her political beliefs?
Of course.
See, you can compartmentalize.
As you should. As you should.
He says separate art from the artist.
Sorry, Donald. Stop giving money to people who hate you. As they keep telling us, right? Taylor Swift hates you, Donnie T. Don't give her any money. I don't want you streaming that song on Spotify anymore, even if Barron wants it. You tell Barron to go listen to Tom McDonald.
I could also just see him being a boomer who had the radio just playing random songs and Blank Space came on. Yeah, and that's when Melania was
I love how Melania was like, this is such a vibe.
She's like, turn it up, Donnie.
It's good. It's good. All right.
Turn it up, Donnie.
Oh my God.
She calls him Donnie.
With her accent. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I like it. All right. Let's go to Super Chats.
Fear Me It's Bree said, Cara, you're cool.
Hey, you're cool.
Facts.
Shane H. Wilder said, both of my parents worked, so if my dad was at home and something needed to get done, he'd just do it. Then he would go out and rebuild the air conditioning duct and make some furniture. He sounds like a boss.
Nice. Handyman.
Jack of many trades. Unusable Alpaca said, ranting Brett is my favorite Brett.
Yes, thank you. I think.
Us
I
too.
guess.
It was a good day for Brett rants.
Yeah.
Somebody says I like that Donald Trump drives sometimes. Yes, that's the best part.
Yeah,
he's like
just like
move over, chauffeur.
Makes me feel free to feel that wind in my toupee.
He only drives when he can put the window down and put his arm out and really get it.
And he does this.
Like, which is literally from the movie Clueless, rolling with the homies. Like, I like that. It's like he only drives at night on the LIE on his way back to Trump Tower. I have no idea if that's like that's the Long Island Expressway, right? Does that go? Well, can you take that to Trump Tower? I have no idea. But he gets on the freeway and he just rocks out to Taylor Swift and probably Beyonce too.
Yep. Got the boy in the front seat, lady in the back.
That's right.
He also makes Melania sit in back. Like, that's even funnier. Like, Baron doesn't
Baron
sit
was
in
like
back.
shotgun.
He has too much leg. He needs a leg room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Disco Jensen sent $5 without a message.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Victor Von Derp said only modern women could make trans women look good. Oof. Grofty said shame helped me. No more soda equals loss of weight.
Nice.
You
Good
weren't
job.
gonna try nature's
go.
Ozempic?
Yeah, like,
Borax?
why give up something you love when you can just add a more caustic substance to your diet to make it work? That just, this is America, man. You don't need to give anything up.
Shane H.
Chances
Wilder
about.
said, I agree that everyone always wants to know when you change something. When I went from long hair to short hair, everyone was like, why? I don't know. I'm a dude and I just felt like it.
Yep, you
Yeah,
can just feel like it
true.
sometimes, and that's okay.
Mike Nick said, I love Brett standing on his soapbox. Preach, bro.
Me
Well,
too.
if I'm going to be the same height as everyone else, I have to stand on something.
Oh. Bro Cody said, I'm okay with TikTokers drinking literal poison. I think it's best for humanity.
Yeah, I'd rather they didn't. Like, I would rather we, find a way to make people less dumb and not do this,
yeah, man.
I guess. I don't know.
Grofty said, yak, never thought Tide sounded like something to eat. Blah. Okay,
Yeah,
it
but
never
it's not supposed to
sounded
sound-
like
it
something
looked
to
like
eat.
something
It
you'd
looked like something that you'd like to eat, okay?
Like a gusher.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
They probably sell Tide Pod candies in Mexico or something.
They should-
Oh, like the flavored jelly bean, but
Yeah.
it's Tide Pod.
Gushers
flavor.
lost out. Gushers should have made a giant one, like a
I want a Tide
gush
Pod.
pod.
Dude, I want
Birthday
gushers
cake.
now. I haven't had gushers.
A Tide Pod birthday cake would be so good.
Yeah, that would be fun.
Yes. Shane H. Wilder said, doesn't everyone drink borax with their Tide Pods and chicken basted in NyQuil? Just me?
Oh,
Okay,
yes.
JK.
Was it
LOL.
NyQuil?
Do you remember that when they were dipping their chicken in NyQuil, so it was like the color of it was like a teal looking chicken?
Yeah, yeah, I think they did that with mouthwash too or something. People got bored.
man.
That's really
was,
gross.
that
You
was
want minty chicken?
It's so gross. No,
disgusting.
That's gross.
Exploding Prinny said, seriously though, Google the comic Killcella. It will tell you what T Swift and her cult are up to. # for her love.
For her love.
I've never seen Killcella. Have you come
Nope.
across this? Okay, I'll look this up. Mike Nick said the Ninja Turtles are Italian, by the way, all 4 of them.
Well, they were named after Renaissance.
Italian
They were
names?
named after Renaissance painters. That doesn't make them Italian. In fact, I'm a little insulted.
They like pizza.
Ooh.
Oh, I got you there. I really bodied him there.
That just makes them New Yorkers. That doesn't make them Italian.
What? Whoa.
Pizza's technically Italian.
It
though.
is. Yeah.
But okay, but does every Italian in history like pizza?
Yes.
Every
really,
single
though?
one.
Yes.
Is it really Italian? Is that where it started in Italy?
No, it's.
I'm just gonna go with that.
America.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna say
By
that.
Italians.
Yeah, Italian American.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'll buy that.
Okay, fine. We'll settle and say they're Italian Americans.
Yes.
Yeah. Then what is Splinter?
Oh,
Splinter?
he's
Doesn't
Asian,
he?
right?
Yeah, he has an accent.
These guys. Tell you.
You tell us, Brett.
Matt H said
Mansplain for us.
Trump
Lilia.
asked about aerosols and people acted like he was talking about cleaners, but albuterol uses aerosol, so he was onto something, people.
Albuterol's for asthma,
They took him
right?
out of
Yeah.
context.
Interesting. Yeah.
Hiroshima Otaru said the old man's wife tricked him into taking it. And
86 him. I don't. That better not be the actual true story. I don't want to find out that this lovely old couple that was just watching the news that she's like, oh, honey, she's just finally. They're 80 years old, and she's like, I'm finally going to get rid of my husband during COVID by giving him hydroxychloroquine. She's like, I watched the news, and the guy on the news channel there said that you should take this hydroxychloroquine, and he's like, okay. Like, I don't like the idea that that's the real story. I don't.
Grofty said this box of party stuff is heavy. Give me a push, maybe.
Grofty, I can't do that. I can't do that. We didn't get a second crisis party either, so I can't give everyone a push. I can't give anyone a push. Sorry, guys. Before we go, ladies and gentlemen, would you hit the like button on this video, and would you subscribe to this channel if you have not done so already? Thank you very much for that. Cara, where can they find you?
Oh, you can find me at the computer at timcast.com. If you have emails, holler at me. It's members@timcast.com.
Perfect. Sarah, where can they find you?
You can find me either at on X or Twitter at Lady Sells Coffee, or you can follow Casbrew at Casbrew Coffee, and you can buy some Casbrew coffee on casbrew.com.
Perfect. We got one $20 one from Grofty. Says, what? I can't hear. LOL. I can't hear either out of one of my ears. So I guess we're in the same boat there.
Do chickens have ears?
I have no idea.
They can hear. What would
like
but like what do they
membranes.
look like? Like under is it like
Yeah.
little holes under the feathers?
slits like gills.
I guess I didn't want to think about it. Like,
Yeah, what?
Anyway, you can send me validation on Instagram at Mary Archived, or you can send me hate on Twitter or X. That is also Mary Archived.
All right. There's one more $20 one there from DC. Oh, it has not come through there?
It's not coming through.
Got it now?
Okay. DC said, Brett, dude, pleasantly surprised you. Go back to my music days. Bone Thugs and Harmony. Also, mad respect for your recovery journey, brother. I have loved ones in my life with their own personal battles, and I give gratitude.
Thank you very much. Yes, I should make a music playlist and put it up of old music. Also, go back and listen to old Mac Dre if you like West Coast rap as well.
Bay Area. Shout out.
Exactly right. But also, I have a friend who's actually 7 years sober today, which is very, very cool. So that's very good.
Oh, congratulations.
Congrats, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, guys, if you want to follow me, you can follow me on Twitter. There's one more here from Grofty, $2 one right there. He says,
Buck, we hear.
Yeah, exactly. This is what the guys. If you're new to this channel, this is what's called a hostage party, a hostage crisis, where they attempt to super chat until we get off the air. So you're gonna hold us hostage here as I try to do my outro.
We're gonna hit that second crisis.
It would be nice.
So
we are very close to the second
Very
crisis
close.
party, guys. Let's do this.
go.
Let's do this.
Rally the troops.
We're rallying the troops right now. Like I don't know. Is somebody gonna do it? I have no idea. But
I believe
there's a $10 one there from Jacob Edler, and it is a thumbs up with the guy putting his hat on
Thank
backwards. I don't
teasing
have.
us now.
I
Just
don't-
hit me in the face.
I don't have a backwards hat.
It was
so,
100 at least.
yeah.
That's good.
All right. Guys, if you want to follow me on Twitter/X and Instagram at Brett Dasovic on both of those platforms, this show, Pop Culture Crisis, is here Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That is noon Pacific. If you'd like to listen to the show rather than watch it, we are on Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, Pandora, and Spotify. If you'd like to follow the show on social media, we are on Twitter/X at PopCulture_show, Facebook and TikTok at Pop Culture Crisis, and on Instagram at Pop Culture Crisis Pod. We will be back with another episode tomorrow. There may or may not be a post-credit scene today. Stay tuned. See you later. Oh,
Thanks
and
for
one
the
more
second one.
from DC says Crisis Party.
Yeah.
Thank
Why
you.
isn't it going on?
Well,
happened?
there could be a post-credit scene, so stay tuned. We'll see you then, guys. Bye.
Bye.
Shimmy Shelley says, come on. Bree, I'm not reading that.